This is Urasawa Boys, a podcast where we read and discuss the works of manga artist and author Naoki Urasawa. Right now, we're reading Monster, and Monster deals with a lot of dark and troubling topics and themes, so a list of content warnings is going to be available in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Once upon a time, there was a monster who had no name.
The monster desperately wanted to have a name of its own, so it set out on a journey to find one.
But the world was so very big, so the monster split in two to make its journey.
One monster went east,
and one went west. The monster that went east came upon a village. "Mr. Blacksmith, give me your name," said the monster.
"Why, I can't give you my name," said the blacksmith.
"If you give me your name, I'll go inside of you and make you strong," promised the monster.
"Will you now? If you make me strong, I'll give you my name," agreed the blacksmith.
So the monster went inside the blacksmith. The monster became Otto the blacksmith, and Otto was the strongest man in the village. But one day, "Look at me! Look at me! Look how enormous the monster inside of me has grown! Chomp, chomp, munch, munch, gobble, gobble, gulp!" The hungry monster ate up Otto from the inside. And once again, the monster had no name.
The monster went inside Hans the shoemaker. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch, gobble, gobble, gulp. And once again, the monster had no name.
The monster went inside Thomas the hunter. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch, gobble, gobble, gulp. And sure enough, once again, the monster had no name.
The monster went to the palace to seek a wonderful name.
"If you give me your name, I'll make you strong," promised the monster.
"If you'll make me strong and not sick anymore, I'll give you my name," agreed the boy.
The monster went inside the boy, and the boy became strong and healthy. The king was overjoyed. "The prince is well! The prince is well!" he cried.
The monster was very pleased with the boy's name. It was also very fond of living in the palace, so even when the monster became hungry, it refused to give in.
The monster grew hungrier and hungrier, but still it refused to give in. But one day, the monster grew very hungry. "Look at me! Look at me! Look how enormous the monster inside of me has grown!" The boy ate up the king and all of his servants. Chomp, chomp, munch, munch, gobble, gobble, gulp. One day, the boy came upon the monster who had gone west. "I have a name now, and it is a wonderful name," he told the other monster.
But the monster who had gone west said, "Who needs a name? I'm quite happy without one. After all, we're nameless monsters."
The boy ate up the monster who had gone west.
Finally, the monster had a name, but there was nobody to call him by it. It was a shame,
because Johann
was such a wonderful name.
Hey everybody, I'm Samuel Quinn Morris.
I'm Matt Fennell.
This is Urasawa Boys. It's a show. We talk about Naoki Urasawa. We talk about Monster. You sit there and listen like the lazy fuck you are.
No, don't insult the listener.
No, I'm sorry.
We have a different energy this morning. We're morning recording. Usually we evening record.
It's a morning recording. It's a Saturday recording. And honestly, I feel really bad because we're behind schedule. And I've had a rough couple of weeks, and it's fine. But it's like... So here's the thing. It's May 20th, which, by the way, listeners, means it's my birthday. Which means it's also
oh my gosh, I can't believe
your birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me
birthday.
and to all of our listeners, because as we know, if it's my birthday, it's your birthday too. I'm 26.
Wow.
So, 74 years left. Tomorrow it'll be 73 and 364 days, not counting leap years. Whenever I'm estimating my lifespan, I always do it
in hundreds.
Yeah, I assume I'm going to live exactly 100 years, which we'll see how that goes. But start of a new year, and we got a mid-season finale here, which I'm really excited about. Oh, but my initial thing is May 20th, which means that it's early summer, which, since I've been living in Brooklyn, here's what you gotta understand. I live in Brooklyn, right across the street from, like, a park. So when it starts getting nice out, every motherfucker's outside. Like, all evening. You know, and they're having a good time, and they're playing music, and in short, you just can't record there. You can't do it. So the first week that we postponed was because I was having a god-awful week, and then the second week was because it was fucking loud out there. But thank you guys so much for your patience, and thank you so much for listening, and I think we're gonna have a good show for you today.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the reading, and I'm sure there are. I had some bits that I was going to do, and now I can't remember what they were. There was like jokes that came up that I was going to make. So I'll wait for the joke machine to turn on in my head, and then I can do.
Yeah, let the engine rev up. It is early. I mean, it's not that early, but it's kind of early. It's early.
Usually,
for us.
The thing is, it has to be late and right before a deadline for the very specific one that I like to work. It was like when I worked for the newspaper, I made this. There was a tone that I wrote in that, like, I read it back, and I'm like,
you can only get.
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, because it's very much my voice, but it's not the way that I usually write, and it's I can't do it if I try. It happens sometimes. So the last episode description was correct. It was
yes. I saw that. That was a good
I sent it to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other important information. I'm at my friend's place, so I'm wearing her pink cat ear headphones.
Gamer girl
Quinn, cat girl Quinn, e-girl Quinn.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get this party started. Before we talk about, like, the actual chapters, this reading is cool formally and structurally because it's pretty obviously a mid-season finale. I feel like. Yeah. How do you have any thoughts on, like, the structuring here?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. It was almost like as a bit, we started calling it the mid-season finale, but like and I think
it was never a bit for me because I know.
You knew how this goes. But yeah, no, it does the thing that, like, you know, TV shows do where it's, you know, we're answering some questions, we introduce some big new ones, all of our characters are here, or a lot of the stuff that we've been building to kind of ties together, and some stakes have changed a little bit. It's like there's a shift in almost what it seems like not necessarily the goal, but like what some of the characters are working towards seems like it's changing.
Yeah.
And I say this every time we record. Like every time we record I say this, but like we're halfway through, I have no clue where we go from here. So I'm excited to see what ends up happening.
It's definitely the kind of culmination of what everything up to now has been talking about. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it is addressing one of the core conflicts, right? Like, we said this, in a much earlier episode, where the manga itself, the core question of the manga is not, you know, is Tenma responsible, or will Tenma kill him? But those are the questions for Tenma, and those get addressed, if not fully answered here. And it's just kind of, and then you've got Nina rocking up, and then you've got, like, other development with other characters. It's a whole lot of people really getting so close to their goals. And some of them make it and some of them don't. And it's very messy in a really satisfying way. I was also thinking, as I was flipping through it before we started recording, that, this is a very Kingy reading.
Yeah, I think so. Like the way that the climaxes of his books work.
Yeah.
This feels like, I mean, like, Needful Things is the one that jumps to mind right away, just because of like how that book ends, right? Yeah. But I haven't read that one in forever, so I don't exactly.
I really like that one. I liked that one a lot when I was a kid, and then the King Things episode came up, and they were kind of like, "This isn't that good," and I was like, "I buy that. It's not that good."
I think it's a good, but it's because I think it was the second King book that I read, and it was a beach read for me, and it was
I think
that's
what an ideal beach read.
It
honestly.
was really good.
Like it's one of those things that's good unless you know how derivative it is.
Yeah. And it's I mean it hits all the notes. It's an airport book. It's pretty straightforward. It's standard. So I don't disagree with what they said, but I think there's still some stuff in that book that I like.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I get where you're coming from saying that this feels like a Kingy reading.
There's a few individual things in this reading that jump out as particularly Kingy, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
But we get the ants come back, hopefully for the last fucking time. The ants come back.
It's overplayed a little bit. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
There's one character who, whenever he talks about the ants, I just don't think it works. And I'm pretty sure he brings it up. I don't know. It's our friend, our trusted ally.
Our trusted friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, basically, chapter 69.
Nice.
A greater monster. This chapter is honestly rather short and rather straightforward. Tenma is lying on top of a bookshelf in the library with his gun, waiting for the ceremony in the morning. And he remembers a childhood memory from Japan, which is the first time we've seen Japan in this manga about a Japanese man, which I think is interesting. And it's cool, and I want to talk about it. And then, Dr. Reichwein goes and meets with Schuwald, and is like, hey, Schuwald, here's what's up with Johann. And Schuwald is like, yeah, this tracks. And then kind of intimates that he thinks he is the one best suited to take Johann down. And that is the chapter. It ends with the ceremony getting set up and Tenma training his sights on the speaking podium. So
yeah,
pretty straightforward, but with some stuff to definitely dig into, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think the flashbacks at the start are another symptom of season finale time, for sure. It's like this, I mean, because this is like every season of Lost, the finale. Like, I'm specifically thinking of the first season finale. It opens with a bunch of flashbacks. And like you said, the Tenma flashback feels notable. So do you have notes about? I mean, I thought it was interesting that they parallel the two of them together, right? And that was something that kind of got introduced last reading or the reading before, that we were like, oh, Tenma is the one. Oh, it was the I Am Tenma chapter where it's where we realized that Tenma is isolated and alone.
Tenma's isolated. Yeah, like how were they? It's a good point. Yeah, it sets up a parallel almost, essentially something that Tenma and Johann have in common.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't have a country or who are isolated from their country.
Mm-hmm.
And which is interesting because, like, I don't know, there's something about, I guess, there's a strong association in this series between country and family that I think is relevant, particularly when we get to Tenma, right? Because he's isolated from his family and he's isolated from his country, like, culturally. Like, those two things are the same for Tenma. His family is Japan, Japan is his family, and he doesn't feel like he belongs there, you know? And then you have Johann, who has no country, or doesn't know where he's from, or isn't from anywhere, and also has no family, and isn't from anywhere, and is nameless. So there's just, like, it's chewy, it's juicy, and I'm wondering how we're going to see that developed.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about this a little bit before. I think it was in the baby reading, where the Turkish quarter was on fire. I think I brought up the thing where it's like, okay, this is a story about split personalities, and it was a lot about the split between East and West Germany. So I think it's, I'm glad you brought it back up, because like the idea that it's okay, what is a person's relationship with their country, and like the self-image and the image of the, you know, kind of, you know, your nationalist view of your home. I'm Yeah, like you said, I'm curious to see where this goes. I don't really think I have too much to add on it, just that
Yeah, I don't
this
think
is a
there's...
theme that
Yeah.
we have noted before, but isn't one that seems to come up as often as some of the other themes that we
Yeah,
harp
the
on.
theme, the seed of the theme hasn't been watered as generously as some other ones. But I think here we can start to see some sprouts poking out of the ground, and we'll see if it bears fruit later on.
Good metaphor. Look at that. Or is that an analogy? I don't know which
I
one's which.
believe it to be a metaphor.
Okay.
Yeah, but then, like, it's really interesting. So the chapter, like, starts off with actually a flashback to the beginning of the manga where he is doing a surgery on Johan, and then it cuts to them not being able to find
the twins.
The twins. And then that causes Tenma to recollect a time when he was a child, and he was playing hide and seek with his friends, and they call him Scaredy Cat Tenma. And then everyone else goes home without finding him. And he's like, I'm still out here. Come find me. And I think that maybe this is the most instructive thing we have learned about Tenma yet.
Absolutely.
Like, this is the most core memory we've ever got from him.
Well, because we cut from where, like you said, he's remembering this as he lies on top of the bookshelf getting ready to murder Johan, right? Yeah. So it's impossible to read this as anything other than, like, this is what he's doing again. I'm still out here. Come find me. Like, even if he's not, even if he is not saying, hey, I need someone to stop me, every fiber of his being is, like, begging he needs to be stopped from this. This is not, he needs to be found. This is not something he wants to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's good. I mean, it's good.
And that's no one found him. This is also, like, it's a relatable flashback for me, because I kind of did something like this when I was a kid. Like, I had a childhood friend and we would play, and I had the biggest crush on her. And I would, like, when we were hanging out or something, like when she was playing with my sister or whatever, I would go and I would hide somewhere. And I would want her to find me so that we could, like, be alone, I was, like, 7, and it's so relatable. Just this, like, really wanting, hiding specifically because you want to be found, right? Because there's two kinds of hiding. There's hiding because you want to be found, and hiding because you don't want to be found.
Yeah.
Ooh, and,
look at that.
And it's interesting to think about what kind of hiding Tenma is doing here, because it feels a little murky, but he needs to be found, that's for sure.
Yeah. My childhood hide and seek memory is when I was probably 4 or 5, probably even younger than that. My mom and I were playing hide and seek in the house, and I hid in a closet and fell asleep, and she could not find me.
Fell asleep. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's
different flavor.
different flavor for sure. But still a good anecdote. Yeah, and then Tenma's just laying on top of this fucking shelf, and he says to himself, "Scaredy cat Tenma." Has a fucking gun in his hand, gonna do a murder, Scaredy cat Tenma. Oh man, it's chewy. Like,
it's really good.
It's a really good moment, like, and like the panel's really nice. It's just this angled shot where, like, overlooking the convention hall, and he's just kind of off to the side laying there with his gun. It really the use of space, and the fact that he takes up such a small amount of the panel, I think is, like, super effective.
Using use of space, I like that, because we've spent a lot of time, like, a bunch of characters have now been in this library and convention hall, and this is, like, we have become familiar with what this space looks like. And part of this might just be because I've read this chunk of chapters probably more than I've read the other ones, just because I think of how long it's taken us to record it. But also, like, I like that we've set up this space, and we're kind of moving all the pieces into place in kind of a smaller zone than we're used to. Because, like, the Turkish Quarter stuff, that was like a whole city. I'm trying to think if there are any other big action beats. I guess the parking garage where Junkers gets murdered is, like, another space.
But you're right, this is very concentrated. It's like, it's not even like campus or anything like that. It is a single building, basically a single room.
Yeah.
And it's
And we
a
keep
whole
coming back to
bunch
it,
of
yeah.
stuff is about. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's very cool. It's also an unusual perspective on Tenma. Like we see him kind of
From the top, yeah.
Well, we're like
We
the
look
camera's
up,
above
and then-
him,
or we're
but
looking
the
down, yeah.
camera's above him, but it's also beneath him. Like we can see the underside of his chin. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know how like super crazy cool it is or whatever, but it's an unusual shot and an unusual angle, and it has a very ominous and gloomy atmosphere to it.
Yeah. Are your
Yeah.
next notes on the Reichwein and Schuwald stuff?
Yeah, but take point.
Yeah, well, the first thing that I have is, so it's Carl and Schuwald show up, and Reichwein is standing in front of the gate of the estate,
Stanced up. He is stanced up out there.
He's out there, and the driver, I guess, says like, "Hey, it's the dude hasn't left. He's been coming by and saying that he needs to see you." And Schuwald says, "What kind of person does he look like?" Which is a thing that this is something people do a lot, right? This is what the Richard would ask Reichwein to do, right? Like, here's a picture of this person. What do they look like? What kind of person do they look like is a question that people ask a lot. And this is, you and I have talked a lot about faces in this and things like that. So I think it's another point in the way that, eyes, mouths, faces, what kind of person do they seem to be is a theme of this story.
Yeah.
So just every time it comes up, I make a note.
Yeah, I had missed that one. That is interesting that is a question that people ask so often in this manga. What kind of a person do they look like? Yeah. So Schuwald knows why Reichwein has come. I expected as much. Eventually I knew someone like you would come to speak to me about him, to unravel the mystery. He's too perfect. What do we think about Schuwald's description of Johann as a completely balanced person?
Yeah, I hadn't written that down, but you're right that that phrase did stand out to me, the completely balanced person. I wrote down that he's too perfect. Is this where he doesn't exist comes up, or is that later?
It seems impossible that he could really exist.
Okay.
So it doesn't exactly say, he's not saying that he doesn't, but it seems impossible that he could, which is a slightly different take on the concept.
Yeah. Too perfect, perfectly, or he's a perfectly balanced, completely
balanced person, which is something I think a lot about what it means to be a balanced person. And this is just a really... Balanced is not how I perceive Johann.
Yeah, balanced is... because that's not even the thing. You would think balanced... you think middle of the road, kind of average, whatever, right? Put together, but I would not say people love Johann, right? It's the thing in the story. It's he is the best at everything, this, that, the other. Balanced is not the word I would use to describe that. That's type A, overachiever, magnetic, whatever. But balanced to me implies I don't know. They're just, it's
it's kind of, you really gotta wonder exactly what it's translated from.
Well, the other image of balance, right, is two sides of a scale, and the thing that we always have come up with Johann is this idea that it's, a split personality or whatever, so I guess, there maybe that's playing in a little bit.
I think it's, when I think balanced, I think in the sense of centered, right? Balanced in the sense of stable, like a plate that's equally weighted all the way around. Able to balance on a peg or whatever, those people who spin plates.
The spinnies.
Balanced kind of in that sense. In a Zen kind of a sense. Still internally. And
the other thing about balance that comes up with Johann is the image that we have of him walking along the tops of buildings and the thing that he has kids doing, like
Yeah,
he's
true.
walking a tightrope balanced that way.
Ooh.
I like that image. I think for if we're saying that Johann is
Yeah.
balanced, is he's walking this tightrope perfectly, right?
He is exactly on the line. Controlled is maybe another possible thing to bring in, and Johann is, for the most part, someone who has incredible self-control in a way.
We've only seen him lose it once, and it's the picture book.
Yeah, he only does what he wants to do. He only does what he's planned. He is not the impulsive type.
Mm-hmm.
He is terrifyingly deliberate, and that could also relate to completely balanced. But we also talk about his serenity. And I think that serenity has a lot to do with what Schuwald is sensing or detecting. We can also look at this as talking about someone who doesn't exist. Johann perceives himself as having no self, no true internal personality. And so the balanced nature is the balance of nil.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing there to be unbalanced, which I think is untrue in a concrete sense. But, yeah, I don't know. I really want to know what the actual Japanese says and what, like, some other translations might have been, because maybe it's direct. It's not, like, a particularly complicated turn of phrase.
No.
But I think it could maybe shed a little bit of light on this. So, yeah, but super interesting and a lot of pod out of one speech bubble.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have one note that I made? This is just like a small one, and I think it's between the way that this story, that this chapter opens with the flashback, and I think Reichwein says this in his notes, right? Like, we can only trace back to the hospital, right? Like, that's the first place that this is where the story picks up. And so it's like, but we know, right? We've had hints that the story starts somewhere else, right? Like, it's further east. And that's kind of how this reading ends, right? Is like, no, we're going past what we thought was the beginning of this story. So I think it's interesting for the reader. Like, it reframes, okay, this is what we know so far as we prepare to move into what comes next, right? It's like, this is now the unknown, is where did they come from before
and
that?
I think that also is interesting because we also go beyond what we know of Tenma in this reading. Like, for both of these prime characters, we are reaching further back into their past and into why they are who they are.
A deeper darkness, a greater monster.
Bum,
bum, bum.
Yeah. Also, there's an important detail here that comes up later, but it could have been missed, which is, when your actual son, Carl, appeared on the scene, Johann changed tack and latched onto Carl. Right? So, what we can tell here is that, and this I think is something that the reader actually has to put, well, I guess the reader doesn't have to put it together because I spell it out right here, but it's an easy thing to skip over, which is that Johann didn't kill Edmund Farin just to kill Edmund and to take Edmund's spot. Johann killed Edmund so that he could then get Carl into a compromising position. So Edmund was specifically just thrown away because Carl was a better avenue.
Right.
Yeah. And here's Schuwald talking about the line of ants again. God damn it, this fucking thing.
I wish it was a little bit more maybe subtle, or I mean, like, subtle's not it. Maybe more elegant, I think, is kind of the word that I'm looking for. But
it does feel like it hasn't been employed artfully. Like, it was good that one time that greasy serial killer said it.
Yeah.
And it comes up again later. A line of ants. I don't know.
I mean, that is like the classic when you think about serial killers. It's like, well, they were mean to animals when they were a kid, right? So it's...
Yeah, it's just like...
I like to deploy the phrase cheap heat. Then
Cheap heat.
maybe that's what that is here.
You know what it is about Johan? I think it is a... I think it's a bad image to employ. Because fucking with a line of ants, like you said, mean to animals, to us, implies sadism, which I don't think Johan is particularly guilty of. I don't think he takes pleasure in anything. He just does it to get what he wants. Right? Like, I don't know how much fun he has causing pain, because I don't know how many emotions he actually experiences.
I don't know, just because of the way that the finale of this reading, right? Like, I feel like
true.
the way that this works is credence to what you're
True.
saying, right? Is like he's just messing with the ants to mess with them.
Yeah, he's just messing to mess with. And I don't know. It's like yeah, the curiosity. I don't know. Like, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is there a better image? I don't know if there's a better image.
There's one better image, and it's because it's a thing that comes up that has come up before, right? Because I'm transitioning to this because I like it a lot.
Yeah,
the epigram's back, right? The reading from Revelation is something that Schewald and Reichwein talk about,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
Where Schewald says, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" Which, if we remember, that's the thing that the worshippers of the beast say. Like, that's their refrain of people.
Oh, is it? Oh, so that's the thing the guys who like him say.
Yeah. That's like they're so impressed by who is like the beast, who can fight him. Yeah, right. Like, it's
fuck with this guy.
Yeah. So, and then there's a little joke, the revelation of Johan, that just made me like groan.
Yeah.
But then I did a little bit of reading, and I was like, okay, the names John in English and Johann in German are the same name in, I guess, Hebrew.
That is the kind of pun that
that
plays
Urasawa
particularly
likes.
Urasawa, and it's also like I would say it's a very Japanese pun.
Yes.
The kind of artistic pun that they can employ sometimes. I have what's interesting? I don't know how true this is, but I have a Czech friend. And she told me that they don't really make puns.
But everyone makes puns.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what do you mean? Everyone makes puns. And she was like, we just don't like do that very much. And I'm like, I don't believe you.
Maybe so you don't, but I'm sure other Czech people do.
But yeah, so Schewald identifies himself here with Johann. They call me the Vampire of Bavaria. The more I strove to realize my full potential, the bigger it grew. The monster inside of me. And he's becoming what I wanted to be, who was like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Perhaps only a monster can overcome another monster. So here's Schewald being,
let them fight.
Let them, Schewald, well, this is Schewald saying, I think this is Schewald saying, I can do it. Like, all of my monstrousness will maybe be good for something.
See, maybe that's interesting, because I read it as the only person who can take him down, who can take Schewald down, is another monster, is Johann, right? Like, that's the way I read it. Like, I was this monster, and Johann has latched into me because he's destroying me. The only thing that can destroy a monster is another monster.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying that it's him saying
that
Johann's the other way. Destroying him? Huh. There's also something that you did put a question in my mind, which is maybe... I'm pretty sure I'm right, but there's also a possibility that Schewald is maybe saying that let Tenma become a monster.
Oh.
Because maybe that would be worth it to get rid of Johann. But I'm pretty sure that this is Schewald saying, considering what Schewald does later.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
Yeah. But pretty cool.
We got a lot out of that short chapter.
Oh my
this is going to be a long episode.
I know. This is chapter 1.
That was a long one.
This was all one chapter. Yeah, Tenma's lying there remembering Nina telling him it wasn't his fault. And then he takes the cap off the scope gets his sights in. Chapter 70.
Chapter 70, Beast of Chaos. Okay. We open with Nina Fortner quitting yet another job as a waitress that everyone loves. She makes a call trying to reach Lotta to let her know that she'll be leaving Munich on the 3:00 train. Schuwald arrives at the library ahead of the ceremony and is greeted by throngs of important people from all over the world. He sends Carl back home to pick up an envelope he'd forgotten and says Johann will accompany him during the ceremony. Tenma continues to line up his shot. Rudy and Lunga argue once again, with Rudy insisting that Johann is real and that Tenma is innocent. Lunga refuses to budge and leaves Rudy to continue interrogating the arms dealer who sold Tenma the sniper rifle. Dieter brings a distraught Dr. Reichwein breakfast and the paper and encourages him not to give up. Simultaneously, Reichwein and Lunga realize that Tenma is going to make his assassination attempt at the ceremony and rush off to stop him. Johann meets Schuwald on stage behind the podium as Tenma lines up his shot. At the train station, Lotta rushes to catch Nina, who explains that she's moving on because the person she was looking for isn't in Munich. Lotta reveals her hunch about Nina and Johann being twins, shocking Nina into silence before revealing the picture book, asking why it sent Johann into a panic and what it could possibly mean.
Man, this chapter, especially like flipping through it while you're doing the summary and listening to the summary, absolutely night and day from the last chapter. The last chapter was so like quiet before the storm, like it's in the middle of the night, it's dark outside, it's reflective, and now this chapter, the spark has gone off. I think the status quo changes literally every page. I think something new is happening on every spread in kind of a long chapter. This is such a fucking white knuckle, like here we go.
Everyone is doing stuff and so much is being like revealed and being set up, like all the pieces are moving into place. It's like you're going up the hill on the roller coaster is what's happening.
Yeah, going up the hill was last chapter, and this chapter is like the first dip.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
A taste.
You're right.
A taste of what's to come. Very cool stuff. Man. This poor little restaurant owner.
Yeah.
He looks so sad. I love his face. He's got a great face.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his little double chin. He looks, he's like, oh.
I love that Nina Fortner, everywhere she goes, she's a waitress and everyone loves her. I continue to have a crush on Nina Fortner.
Everyone loves Nina Fortner.
She's just working at a string of German restaurants, breaking hearts.
Yeah. There is, throughout this chapter, a repeated image that's very, very good. It only happens a couple of times, but it started last chapter and it goes to this chapter and a bit in next chapter, I think, but it is a panel with Tenma's scope on the podium. Like, we keep returning to this image a few times, you know, and it's this really great pace setter, where it's like, here's what's coming. Here's what's coming.
I think, isn't that how the last volume ended? Was him lining up the scope on the podium, too? Because he had gotten into place, because this one we open with him on top. I think maybe he did it once last reading, too. So it's, like you said, it's been, you're right, yeah. This is I like that it keeps, the pace setter is good, like you said. This is what's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah, the monster's coming.
Monster's coming.
Look how big the monster inside of me has grown.
Oh.
Check this out. Me with my tapeworm. What a
That's very good, actually. I'm gonna pull that clip from The Office where Kelly has the tapeworm and look how big the monster inside me has grown over it.
Yeah. The look how big the monster inside of me has grown painted on the walls of The Office. Jesus Christ.
The crossover you didn't know you needed. Dwight is Lunga.
Yes. Fuck! Okay, hold on.
Jim has a split personality. He's murdering people around Scranton.
Oh fuck. Jim is Johann. Dwight is Lunga. I guess that must mean that Michael is Tenma.
Is Michael Scott Dr. Tenma?
Michael Scott is Dr. Tenma. Oh, wait, if Jim is Johann, then that means Pam gets to be Nina.
Okay.
Oh
and
my
then,
god.
who's
Fuck.
in Ryan's Dieter?
This is fucking.
This is so stupid.
This is so fucking dumb.
I thought we'd peaked when we were casting them as the Muppets,
As the
but no,
Muppets,
this is so much better.
This is even fucking better.
We've got, I mean, it's cliche to like The Office at this point, but I think we've gone to like ironic. We're now at we're at Brooklyn podcaster level, like loving The Office.
God, I don't even like I have seen the whole thing. I enjoyed it well enough.
I've seen it like 3 times all the way through, yeah.
Well, The Office isn't my guilty pleasure sitcom. My guilty pleasure sitcom that I watched like 4 fucking times before I really was like, oh, this is transphobic, is How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Man,
there's a couple.
They did not let up on the trans folks in that particular show.
Yeah.
Which is so unfortunate. Because they're honestly, like, there is a lot to like about that show, and there is a lot that is, holy god, untenable.
It's hard to watch Barney now, like, is the thing.
My God.
It's because I've watched that show I think twice through, and I'm kind of slowly rewatching it this year. Because of the. Have you watched any of the new one, the How I Met Your Father?
No, are you kidding me? I saw the trailer and I was like, well, this is soulless.
It's better than the trailer makes it seem, because I had the same reaction when it started.
It looks soulless. I hate the way it's shot. It looks like a soap. Like, I don't know what's going on.
It looks cheap for some reason, and it's probably
really
because
cheap.
it is, I think, is the thing. But like, it's pretty good. I think Hilary Duff is very good in that show. Is the and there's a couple other characters that I like, but it is like, you know, because we watched a bunch of episodes of that one afternoon, and then put How I Met Your Mother on. How I Met Your Mother is just, you know, leaps and bounds better, but there's some stuff to like in the.
It's an all-timer theme song.
Yes,
you gotta give it to the theme song for How I Met Your Mother. Like that, it sets the tone so well.
It's perfect.
Monster? Do we want to talk about Monster?
I don't have like a ton of notes on this chapter. The one that I have is there's the how sad Carl looks when Schuwald sends him home, because his thought is, oh, Schuwald, my dad likes Johann better than me. As the like that's the way he looks so sad when he leaves.
Yeah, but this is of course like Schuwald trying to keep.
He's protecting him.
Yeah, he's protecting him. There is an important. It is pretty funny. So at the bottom of an early page, you know, Schuwald is going into the library. If anything were to happen to Herr Schuwald, the shock to the stock market would be disastrous. He's absolutely pivotal to the economy of the EU. We can't have him dying on us just yet. Uh-oh!
You may as well just say you were going to go see your daughter tomorrow. You haven't seen her in a long time.
For fucking real. Don't even talk like that. If Schuwald were to not go fishing with Carl tomorrow, you know, it's just, oh man. Oh, jeez. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really, as the reader, you know what's about to happen. Yeah, honestly, here's my question. Is this a necessary telegraph here? Like, did we need this one? I don't know if we needed this one, frankly.
I mean, probably not, but it's kind of funny a little bit.
Oh, it's definitely funny. It's definitely funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think, like, foreshadowing is all well and good. But I do think it's kind of amusing when it occurs in such a blatant way.
Direct way, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then again, Rudy and Lunga. And Lunga's just such a brick wall.
He will not budge, and I like that Rudy keeps pushing, and I like that Lunga won't budge.
Yeah, and then there's this super annoying thing Lunga says, where he goes, Johann exists, and then we cut to his devil smile. In Tenma's mind. You know, you little shithead. Fuck you. Fuck you. What it's that it annoys the hell out of me that he did that. But it's also I think it is interesting how we are still getting this. The question of does Johann exist has been
complicated.
Really,
it's
been complicated, but in the last few chapters it's been coming up, like, a lot. It seems to be at almost a core question of at least this section of the manga is, does Johann exist? what does it mean to exist? Actually, let's put a pin in that one. I don't know if it comes up too much during this reading, but I have a suspicion that the question of literally, what does it mean to exist, is going to be really important to the back half of the manga.
Well, didn't he said it when they killed fake Margot Langer, I think, right? Like that he didn't exist.
Yeah.
I think that's when it,
yes.
and then does he
that's
say
when
it?
This whole thing starts.
Yeah,
that's when
okay.
this theme was introduced, is when Johan said, I don't exist.
Right.
And ever since he said that, other characters have been discussing about whether he exists or not. I mean, the conversation about whether he was real has been happening a bit, but it really kicked into high gear when Johan said it himself. And so it's I'm just noticing it.
Yeah, and I know, so one of our listeners a few episodes ago commented on Twitter and linked us to an article that I think we'll read and talk about after we finish.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the title of the article as well.
Does he exist? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited to that. And
yeah.
Thanks for that, by the way.
I can't remember who that was, but thank you for sharing it.
You're like, it's so nice when people talk to us
it was
about
very
this
cool
show.
when I saw
love
that
to talk
comment.
to people about this thing. So then, Tenma goes into, no, Luca got me. He said, I am Tenma, and I believed him. I believed him. We have this cool page where Lunga is like, he's got his hands out, he's like, one hand, I am Tenma, and then on the other hand, I am Johan. And this cool little bit where he's pretending to be Johan, right, where he's getting into Johan's brain space, we see him from behind, the same way that we see Johan from behind.
Oh, that's great.
For about half of a page. And he says, I am chaos. I like chaos. And I think that's interesting because I don't think that's what Johan likes. Right?
Well, see, I'm going to say again, like, I think the way that this section plays out, I disagree. I mean, because like what he does, what ends up happening, this is pure chaos. This is just... This is Joker mode. I just want to watch the world burn.
Mode?
I mean...
Okay, you know what? I take that back. Last one standing at the end of the world, and then I think about what he did at Kinderheim. Okay.
Yeah, standing as the...
All right. He's... Okay, fair enough. He likes chaos.
I think it's interesting that Lunga can immediately get there, is the thing, that this is his takeaway. Right? It's like other people look at Johan and they see, we said perfectly balanced, right? But Lunga's doing his I am Johan and it's chaos.
That's true.
Chaos is what I crave.
It is interesting that he knows, like he has a very good sense
of who Johan is.
Of who Johan is, even though he thinks Johan is Tenma.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right answer, wrong.
Yeah, it's just interesting that he is so right and so wrong at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I think that's really, I just think that's a cool space for a character to inhabit. Yes. And like that conflict makes for a fun texture for the reader.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it not just binary, right? It's like, it makes it more gray, which I think is a thing that we've talked about
it's
a lot.
It's a really good reason. And I think we kind of, we dunked on it when it started, right?
Yeah, we did.
And I think we were right to. But especially as the manga,
silly.
It is silly. But as the manga has gone on, I called it. I said this is an excuse for Lunga to chase Tenma and chase Johan without them both being on the same team. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was kind of like, it seems like a cheap way out. It seems like an easy way to make this happen, and I stand by that. I think maybe there was a fancier way, but
I think it's grown on me where I think it's a little bit smarter. Yeah,
definitely. Like, when you see kind of the results of this approach to it, it creates some satisfying stuff.
Yeah,
even if it
you
starts
said
out
texture
a bit
a couple minutes ago, and I really like that as a descriptor of what it is. So
yep,
good stuff.
Yeah, and then we've got food. Food is important.
Mm-hmm. I'll have a lot to say a little bit later about food. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's some stuff to say right here because Dieter brings Reichwein some buns, and I can't tell what kind of liquid this is, but maybe it's milk. I like to think it's milk.
Yeah.
And bread sure is good in Europe. They have they have good fucking bread over there.
I love bread.
Have you ever been? Matt? Have you ever been to Europe?
No, I've never been to Europe.
Have you ever been to the continent?
I have not left
Matthew.
North America. I've been to Canada. I've been to. I guess I've been to Central America, but I think that's still part of North America technically.
Sort of is. I think it's just Central. I think Central is Central.
Well, it's not its own continent though, but it's like it's one of those things where
I don't know how it is on the
yeah,
plates.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I've not left. I guess I will say the quadrant of the, if we were to split it into the North and South hemisphere, and then like I don't know which way around the globe, but like
Matt, what if you and me did like a monster tour?
Oh, that'd be so cool if we went to Germany and just
we went to the different like monster spots.
Man,
that would be pretty fun.
We should do that.
That would be really fun. Fuck me.
That'd be really, really fun.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a possibility. Okay.
Join our Patreon, please.
Send us to Europe.
So
I can eat good bread.
Yeah. I've been to Europe precisely one time. I'm not some kind of like globe
jet
hopper,
setting.
You know? Yeah, I've been there one time to see my Czech friend actually. And, bread over there really hits fucking different. I tell you what, that shit's crazy. Like you can understand why they eat so much just bread. Because the bread is that good. Because you're like, I can just eat this.
Do you know my bread for lunch phase? Have I told this story before?
No.
Oh man. So this is very funny to me. So when this was March 2021, February, March, like April 2021. This is like when I was dating a girl during that chunk of time, and growing a beard, and my hair was really long, and I was still working I was in the office, right? Like we were back in the office, and it was for like 3 or 4 weeks. What I would do for lunch is, I think I saw a TikTok that made a joke about it or something, but I would drive to the grocery store near my office. I would go in, I would buy a baguette, and I would buy some sort of cheese from the cheese aisle, and then go and sit in my car and eat bread and cheese. And at first it was like, this was like a happy thing that I did, right? Because like I was dating this girl, I was, everything was good and fine. And then we broke up, and then I was sadly eating bread and cheese in my car.
And that's a very different thing.
It was very different. My sister came to visit at one point, and I brought my sister to do this with me. We went to Publix, we each bought a loaf of bread and some cheese, and listened to heavy metal in my car in the parking lot. And so I did that for a while, and then like stopped doing that. Made friends like a year later. Made friends with some of the accountants who worked, because my cubicle got moved around a lot. I wasn't really sitting near people. Yeah. I got moved back downstairs, made friends with some of the accountants, and we were going to lunch, and we were, kind of doing the getting to know you stuff. And I was like, I really don't go out for lunch. I usually just eat lunch by myself. And one of the accountants, she goes, "Oh, I know." I said, "What?" And she said, "Well, more than once, I saw you, I went to Publix, so like I would go and get groceries during lunch, and I saw you go pick up a loaf of bread and some cheese, and then walk back to your car and sit in your car and eat bread and cheese."
Oh my god.
I was like, "Oh no." And she's like, multiple times I saw this.
Oh my god. That's mortifying.
I was like, oh no.
Oh god. Oh, that hurts. Jesus Christ.
It's one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me.
God, that's good. Jesus. Anyway, so Reichwein eats some snack.
Snack?
He eats some snack. And then he stands up and he realizes what's going on, and then him and Dieter, like, they don't even get in the car. They just run. They run down the road. It must be pretty close by. And so then both teams are on the way, and then we're here, and there's Johan over a black background, that black to gray gradient that we've seen before, the doom gradient. He emerges from the shadows. First the shadows are in front of him, and then the shadows are behind him.
Oh man, that's so cool.
You know, he's a real ominous critter, Aryohan, and wearing a truly awful tie. It's such a fucking
I mean, it's
90s,
bad, but it's kind of
90s ass.
Yeah.
Fucking
so the
Jackson Pollock ass.
When this chapter kicked off, I put on because I don't read in silence. Like, usually I will have music on while I'm reading.
Oh, really?
I put on like an industrial ambient playlist while I read this section because it just feels extremely nice. I think. Yeah.
Totally.
So that was good. This is a detail, I hadn't written it down, but we start seeing, there's the clapping sounds a lot, like the onomatopoeia for clapping start happening a lot. Mm-hmm. And that gets introduced later. There's the onomatopoeia for someone like shaking, and they don't look very similar, but I think you've got the sound of clapping and the sound of shaking start happening a lot.
It's kind of interesting. Like they're overlapping. I'll keep an eye out.
A little bit, yeah. It's neat. I think it's more when Shuwalt's giving his speech, but
sure.
It's
man, and there's a couple little panels where it's just like you see like the barrel of the gun just peeking out over the thing.
This is rookie mistakes, that the scope is flashing, right? This is Tenma saying, come find me. But yeah, I do like it. It's good.
Yeah. I brought that monster back, Tenma thinks.
Mm.
You know, you can feel, it's obvious that he feels responsible. Which, listeners, he's not, but...
He's not.
Whatever. That's the fun part, is that he's wrong. It's fun to follow a main character who's fucking wrong. And making bad choices because of it. Lotta catches up with Nina at the airport. Shows Nina the picture book. Nina looks at it, and the chapter ends with a shot of child Nina on a dead black background. Kill me. Fucking mint. That's
wild.
What a good, and again, we've been kind of leisurely making our way through this chapter because we haven't recorded in a while, and it's a mid-season finale, and we're just kind of luxuriating. But in the, listeners, if you've been reading along, if you've been reading this thing, I bet when you got to this page, the pacing of this chapter, and then this, boom. What a fucking roundhouse.
Well, I think it's super interesting that and I just noticed this, right? We have the sound of her heart speeding up, and this is translated to English, right? This isn't this isn't an this isn't left as just
usually when something's in a bubble, it gets translated.
Okay.
I would say.
But so I think it's interesting that this gets called out, right? Is we know this is not just something that's happening in the background. This is the focus, is the heartbeat speeding up as we go to this kaboom that it ends with.
Yeah, because it starts with dum dum dum, and then on the next page it's ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum, and so we can feel, and I guess that's why they translated it, because it's so vital to understanding this sequence. You have to know what these sounds are, and so the pace ramps up, and then silence. Whew. Kill me. Man! Woo!
It's so good.
Woo! It's the whole thing. It's like we said, it's like the roller coaster, and then it just feels like it shoots you off the cliff. Or it's one thing I think about a lot when it comes to pacing is I think about listeners, I don't know how much anime you watch, but that thing that happens sometimes in particularly really good action anime where an action happens and then at the end of the action it kind of slows down, but it's still got a lot of frames. It's the follow-through portion of it. Especially, it happens a lot in Evangelion, is kind of what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite feelings of pacing and everything. I love that feeling, and this gives me that feeling of this, follow-through with a lot of frames. Just, really, it's over, but you're still in it. And it just, carries you through.
It's good.
It's fucking good.
It's really good.
Chapter 71, The Nameless Monster. Whoa, this is super cool. And oh right, I need to sorry, I got so excited to talk about it, I forgot about the summary.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we read the storybook, which, listener, you have already heard us read. And it's pretty spooky, and very thematic, and I can't wait to talk about it. And Lotta, talks to Nina and is like, who the fuck are you? And Nina is like, bro, I literally do not know. And then she goes to the library to do some murder. We're all trying to do some murder. Tenma's trying really hard to do some murder, but can't quite make it happen. He remembers, he remembers what Johann is responsible for, and almost manages it, and then Johann looks right at him through the scope. He does the Johann thing. And then, guess who shows the fuck up? It's our
good
trusted friend, Roberto, who pistol whips the fuck out of Tenma, grabs the gun. Uh-oh!
It is such a good way to end the chapter. Like, my heart sunk, right? I was like, oh no, the things that Roberto can do with that gun. This is not good.
No, it's so bad. Yeah. Oof, what a chapter. Like, a lot of it's taken up with the storybook, so, like, it not, like, only a couple of things happen in the middle of the actual plot, but this storybook is so important.
Yeah, Okay, so I don't know. It's very confusing. The fact that the monster splits at the beginning, I don't know what to do with that.
What
And
do you mean?
that's how
What are you talking about?
But okay, to me, right? It's like twins, right?
Yeah.
Is half of this monster Nina? I don't know.
Yeah, of course they're twins. Like,
well, I mean, we've talked about Johann being split, but I have never considered, I guess I have very briefly, like, is Nina also a monster? Like, do we need to be worried about her? Or, I guess not, because, hang on, I am talking through this a lot, but it's like, Nina went to a different orphanage, right, where she was cared for, and that was kind of like, we saw it was that lady who looked mean, but was nice.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's the monster that didn't go off and eat people. It says, like, hey, I didn't need a name. I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
Is the resolution for that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the monster splits into and it becomes twins, and you can also see that, like, later Johann says that it was only the two of us, right? We were the only two in the entire world. The two were one. And not to spoil too much, but there's actually some more stuff later in the manga that kind of reinforces the idea that, in a weird way, Johann and Nina were kind of one thing. And then became separated. So that's what the nameless monster splitting into two is representing here. Is representing twinship, and also representing east and west. One monster goes east, one monster goes west, and it's also talking about that divide there, although I'm not sure exactly how specifically relative that is to, like, East and West Germany. Like,
it feels more thematic than, like, analogous, I think, is the thing.
I would say that's accurate. Yeah, the monster that went east came upon a village. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the book, Lotta has this frame, and this is the one that I want to use for the title, or the art for this one, where she just says, hang on, I want to read it so that I don't say it wrong, because it is 100% how I feel thinking about this picture book. She says, why does reading this picture book make me feel so awful?
Yes. And, Matt, this is a King thing.
Is it?
It is. I don't know if you remember, but there is...
Oh, Charlie the Choo-Choo?
Bingo! Yes.
Okay.
The idea...
Yeah.
So there is a thing that comes up a few times in King's work, where he has a children's book that is strangely sinister, that reads perfectly normally to an adult, but to children somehow it's terrifying and fucked up, and it fucks them up.
Yeah,
and
you're right. I forgot about that, because it's the whole Jake looking at it and being like, those kids are screaming. They are not having a good time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And this, to me, this is exactly that. This is that precise thing.
When does The Wasteland come out? Hang on. I have to Google this
Gotta
real
check
quick.
it. I'm positive. I mean, it's before this for sure.
It would have to be, because that's an 80s book, I think.
Yeah.
The Wastelands is 91, and we've already said, what is this, 97? I don't remember.
We're probably around 97 by now. I don't know, 96.
94 through 01 is when this one ran.
Yeah.
So it's after.
He's read it by now. And that would be kind of a fresh translation, too, so it would probably be fresh in Urasawa's mind. I mean, like, obviously, Urasawa could have done this on his own. Like, the idea of the creepy children's book doesn't belong to King.
It's not, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know. But it's a little close. Like, it's not as one-to-one as the Apt Pupil was. Apt Pupil, yeah. There's not 100%. A doubt in my fucking mind.
That was a reference, yeah.
This could go either way. But certainly say enough of a connection to bring it up, I would say.
Oh, good call, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is pretty cool. Let's talk about the art. Let's talk about the color.
I love that they use the color plates here.
Oh, yeah.
For this. It's very good use.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, like the art style, you can tell it's Urasawa, right? You can just tell when it's a person's quality of line. Like, art is so personal, you can tell when someone's doing it. You can tell that these are his lines. But it's also, you know, it's a storybook. It's a storybook style. You've got these cool watercolor, you know, the color's done in these watercolors. It's not nearly as detailed as anything, as other stuff. It almost looks a bit like children's drawings. It's very, it's almost cute, but it's also quite dreary. I love the design of the monster.
I do too. Yeah, it's like a green goblin-y looking thing that has this big purple flowy like
mantle.
Yeah, and
it looks like the thing Zatch Bell wears. Honestly,
listeners, you know my feelings on Zatch Bell,
and you know mine. Yeah, I
like the monster. Yeah, and the way that it goes into people and eats people, I think is very like spooky looking. It's good.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, it's really spooky. The story itself, you know, you've got this cool, like, refrain, you know, look how enormous the monster side of me has grown, chomp, chomp, munch, munch, gobble, gobble, gulp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's really, I mean, it's not like it's difficult to write in a children's story voice, but this strikes me as a very effective, like, use of that, like, repetition, you know, that is so common in kids' books.
I think it'd be easy to phone it in, and this isn't. Like, this is one. It would, if this was a real children's book, right? Like, if this was published standalone, like, it works. There's no problems with it.
Absolutely, it reads as a kids' book. It reads as a weird and kind of fucked up kids' book.
Yeah.
Kickstarter to print a zine run of this, and then I just put it in children's libraries.
Oh man, how cool would that be? Like, if we got an artist to, like, if we just reinterpreted it, like had someone do a different drawing of this, right? Like with this text, like we gave them the text and got a zine of it. That'd be so sick.
Interesting. You know what else is interesting? I just noticed.
What's that?
Oh, it's because the palette changes. So so apparently they only have so much. Yeah,
it does the thing where it goes, where it starts to go to monochrome and then to black and white.
Yeah, it's black, white, and red. Yeah, so the monster who had gone west said, "Who needs a name? I'm quite happy without one. After all, we're nameless monsters." I think that is really, really interesting. I think that's super cool.
It's good, yeah.
Because it's like the idea of... Because it's about acceptance, right? Like that monster has accepted it, and then of course it's like a dark, like fractured fairy tale style ending where greed wins out, hunger wins out, you know, and the hungry monster eats its sibling who had attained peace, because this monster who wants a name so badly has no peace.
It resents that the other one has accepted this, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that, you know, look how big the monster inside of me has grown. It has this, you know, I think hunger is a really important, like qualification for this
Yeah,
monster.
and I mean,
of
that's
course,
that's how each little chunk of the story ends, right? Is it gets hungry and then either eats its host, or in the case of the when it's the boy,
when it
eats
has the
everyone
right
around
host, it eats
Yeah.
everyone else. Yeah, and obviously,
which is, I mean, what Johan's been doing, right?
Yeah,
Like, he's killing the families as he leaves them.
This is clearly, I mean, it's Johan. The kid's name is
It's
Johan.
his MO.
It's it's 1-to-1. We are intended as the reader. We know like this monster is Johan. But this story ascribes to Johan something that we have not thus far ascribed to him, which is hunger.
Because you said boredom, I think, was the phrase that you used last time. Yeah, but hunger, we haven't.
We talked about boredom, but I think this is a stronger motivation. It's very interesting to think about Johan now with this new potential thing driving his actions. If Johan is hungry, if he desires, what is it that he desires? Like, what is he really... we've asked this question before. What is he actually trying to achieve? What does he actually want? And we still don't...
It's unclear.
...really know. Yeah. But this feels like another hint. So, pretty cool stuff. I
like the conversation between Nina and Lotta afterwards. The first note I have is... just like we had the two typing sounds, now we have the two panic responses, which is shocked silence versus loud oversharing. Because Nina just kind of sits there, like, in stunned silence, and Lotta is just like, what is going on? I am freaked out. What do you mean you don't know your check? What is going on? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the thing I said, why does this book make me feel so awful? But the other thing she says is, I get this queer feeling that everything that has been happening is piling up.
Relatable.
What?
I also get this queer feeling.
Oh. When I read this book, why do I feel like all of the queer things that have happened recently are piling up on me at once? Why
do I feel like everything is connected to Johan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lotta is freaking out. Yeah, why does reading this picture book make me feel so awful? It's cool.
Oh,
it's also...
And then she hyperventilates and is like, I'm sorry, I got carried away. It's so cute. It's good. And it's scary. I'm scared too.
And it's also because, like, seeing Lotta getting really drawn into this bullshit that's happening in Monster. Like, she's still on the outskirts, but even she's like, what the fuck is happening? This is so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also kind of... I just think that's... I always... think it's cool to watch that happen to a character in this series where they are living a normal life and then like they start realizing that this horrible thing is happening.
Well, it's how we got introduced to Nina, right? And like that's a great segment, right?
Oh,
where it's the same thing, right? It's like it cracks and then she's in this horrible mess. It's good.
And it's all fucking Johan's fault.
Always.
Like, Johan is he's a monster. He's dragging everyone down. He's dragging everything in. Everything is connected to him. All roads lead to Johan. I also think it's interesting, why does reading this picture book make me feel so awful? This is another example of kind of the audience being informed of a mildly supernatural kind of thing. In the same way that we are informed of Johan's supernatural ability to make people feel at ease and comfortable, and his ability to befriend and control serial killers, we now know that this picture book also has something beyond its assumed power. It has something else to it. In the same way that Johan does, and that's interesting. It's another way of identifying this with Johan, and with that mystery, the power of mystery. There's totally something there. By the way, I know just enough Czech to be able to translate the title of the book, which is Oblida, Která nemá své jméno, something like that. But basically, so Oblida, monster, Která is which, nemá své. Well, své is kind of like it. Své would mean like it does not have a name itself. kind of. It's sort of a reflexive word that you use, because it means that it doesn't have its own name.
Okay.
Like, I could say I don't have a book, but then if I use, like, a version of Sve, it would mean, like, I don't have my book. I'm looking for my book.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tenma does not have Imeno, his name. And that's my little bit of check.
That's check corner.
That I know. Check corner.
I like there's at the you know, after Lotta has her outburst, there's a couple frames at the bottom of the page where Nina is asking, you know, this guy that you think is my twin, are we really so alike? And while she's asking that, her eyes we can't see her face.
Yeah,
she's
we
got
can't
like
see
the
it.
shadow, right? It's it's Johan, right? That's what we've got right now.
There are definitely, you know, when we see Nina, and at the top of the next page too, when
she turns and looks at the camera. She
looks like
look.
Johan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like normally she doesn't look too much like Johan because she's so much more expressive than he is, because she has strong feelings, and I can only imagine that, like, again, as a face first mangaka, this is something that Urasawa does intentionally to make sure that we never see their connection too closely unless he wants us to.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like that probably has something to do with why Johan is always so serene and Nina feels so strongly, is to keep the separation between them strong until he flattens Nina's aspect, and then we see, you know, their twinship. It's really it's really cool. And it's the kind of technique that only works over the course of a longer series. Yeah. Right? Because it's built up. So anyway, she's got a gun. I guess she just got that through airport security somehow.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
And she's taking a train. So you can do whatever you want on a train.
Yeah, you can take a gun on a train anytime. They want you to. They give you a discount.
Have you seen Bullet Train? That's a pretty good movie.
I haven't. I feel like I'd like it.
I think you would. This is a recommendation for Bullet Train for you and our listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Tenma...
I like that Lotta immediately realized that she fucked up in revealing this info. She's like, oh, crap.
Oh, man. Yeah. We see Tenma shaking and remembering the death of Junkers, remembering the death of the Fortners, remembering the death of Maurer. Poor Maurer.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then Johan gives him the look. Just looks right at him. We see Johan looking right at him through the scope. Terrifying. So scary. He's looking right at me.
And it's a page flip Roberto. I mean, we're not flipping the page, but it's on the opposite page. We have the gun, and then it's the reveal that this is Roberto.
I've been keeping my eye out for Jack in the Boxes, honestly, and like, there's a couple of minor ones, but none that have a real wham to them.
No really big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, no really big ones. Like, they're around. I just haven't, like, they haven't seemed super important. Yeah, fucking Roberto. He's right fucking there. Man, this guy, he just turns up. He just shows up. Man, and that pistol whip looks like it hurts, too.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
You know, gives Tenma a bloody nose, breaks his nose, maybe even. Picks up the gun, says, let me show you how to shoot a gun.
Perfect end to a chapter.
Fucking great end to a chapter, and it's like, nothing good is about to happen.
Yeah.
Not a damn good thing is about to happen.
The roller coaster has come off the tracks.
Yeah. It's come off the tracks. We've got a bloody nose. Kick it.
Okay, chapter 72, The Ants Banquet. Shuwald takes the stage, and Roberto dials in the shot with the sniper rifle, as Tenma watches in horror. In the wings, we see a woman carrying a can of gasoline, making small talk with Johan before he joins Shuwald on stage. Tenma and Roberto wrestle for control of the gun as Johan helps Shuwald to the podium. Shuwald asks Johan what it is he wants, but Johan just smiles and says that the library is completely full of people all here for him. Shuwald begins to tremble. Roberto subdues Tenma and Shuwald's speech begins. He directly addresses the crowd and tells everyone to make a single file line to evacuate the building. The crowd nervously laughs as Roberto goes to line up his shot, and Johan gives a signal to the lady with the gas can, who drops a match, setting off an explosion and engulfing the building in flames. The crowd descends into chaos, trying to escape, as Roberto begins laughing, watching from the vantage point, saying that Johan has changed the plan to something so much better. Tenma gets a hold of Roberto's pistol, and the two hold each other at gunpoint. Johan monologues about ants and fear, and Roberto says that Tenma's just a doctor, and there's no way he can take a life. The chapter ends with a gunshot.
Woo! Wahoo! Wah! Wahoo! Woo!
It's good.
Fuck, this one's good.
Yeah.
This one's really fucking good.
We haven't had an action chapter like this in a while, where it's just like stuff is happening.
Stuff is really
it's exciting.
happening.
Because we're cutting back and forth between. I mean, like,
it's good.
Schuwald getting ready to give a speech is like as exciting as Roberto and Tenma wrestling over this gun. Like,
yeah, oh man, and Schuwald. I love Schuwald's approach, but one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So, one thing I want to take note of, Tenma with the bloody nose looks completely unhinged. Like, the faces he's making in this, like, especially on this double page, with the last page of 71 and the first page of 72, like, his eyes are super wide, he's got blood all over his face, like, you can tell everything is out of his control. Everything is going wrong. This is worst case scenario. And he doesn't know what to do. And there's just he's in complete terror.
Mm-hmm.
It's super, super effective. And we have the title page. The title page for this chapter is super fucking good. Because it's a fully black page except for the circle of the scope. Right on Schuwald. The Ants Banquet. Oh, man!
It's great.
It's a killer.
It's really good. And we get more. So this, I just checked the thing I mentioned earlier about like the clapping and the shaking.
Yeah.
That started last chapter with Tenma shaking as he tries to, take the shot. Yeah. And it continues here. We get it a lot, right? Of like the clapping onomatopoeia and then the trembling. Which, I don't really know if there's any like real thought that goes into it, but I do there's something that I like about it, right, where it's like you have this really loud sound and then the quiet sound that's kind of like, and they're both as big, right?
Yeah, totally. It really the mixing applause and trembling and fear is again a cool texture. It's a very cool texture, and it really shows how much more you can do with Japanese-style onomatopoeia than you can do with Western-style onomatopoeia, frankly.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of, some of the applause gets the big Western-style onomatopoeia, where it's like clap, 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 clap. But I do like the very little, the tiny ones a lot.
Yeah, totally. And also you get, after Roberto picks up the gun, you get a lot of shots of the scope, like, moving across the stage. And that's really cool. I love this image. I love this image of, like, looking through the scope, being put in the eye of the person who's got it, like, putting the gun in your hands. It's super cool. And it's, I think it would be harder. Well, I guess here's a question. How different do you think this device would be in film?
Well,
like,
I mean,
would it feel similarly, do you think?
Yeah, one of the Jason Bourne movies does something like this. I think it's the third one. There's a sequence where it's like there's a meeting that happens in the sniper scope. You get shots down scope. I think that happens a lot in kind of action movies.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it to me, it feels pretty cinematic. And I mean, like, the first thing that jumps to mind is for that title page, it's almost like the beginning of a James Bond movie, right? Like that very famous tracking shot of, the scope and then James Bond silhouetted in there. So I think it is, I agree with what you're saying, right? Where it's like it puts the reader, you're the one holding the gun looking down the thing. But it's, I think this is another cinematic move that works really well.
Totally. Yeah, so then this lady shows up, and we've never seen her before, but she's carrying a gas can, and you can tell instantly she's fucked up.
She's bad news, yeah.
She's bad fucking news. Yeah. Like, her body language is weird. And, like, she says, her Shuvald certainly is popular. Yes. And it's like, you know. And she's carrying a gas can. And as the reader, you go, uh-oh.
Yeah. Who is this? What's going on? Oh, uh-oh.
You know, she walks right past Johann. It's pretty clear. You know, you start to get an idea of what's about to happen. And there's this great panel. There's this fucking killer panel of Tenma tackling Roberto off of the shelf. You know,
oh yeah, this is great.
This panel is so dynamic, you know, like, it's also unusual because we've talked a bit before about how Urasawa depicts action and motion, right? It's normally very blurry. There's no blur here. This is actually a freeze frame style shot, which is kind of unusual for him. And we'll see, like, in the following pages as they wrestle, lots and lots of motion blur, but this is still. And it's really cool because, like, you can see the shelf extending back into the background and there's shadow behind them. It's really, the depth of field in this panel is amazing, and it's just such a cool, it's such a cool piece of action.
Yeah, I think on the next page I just saw you flip. I think this is just because I'm looking at it in detail slowly now. There is something that is so funny to me about, like, it's the two panels of them falling and then just, like, quiet thud while everyone else is clapping down on the... It's very funny.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's two panels of like Tenma falling and Johann falling, or
Roberto. Yeah.
And it's also cool because Tenma is on
He's
top
on top
of Roberto.
Yeah,
and
he did the tackle.
Yeah, you know, and the panels reflect that. They're looking at each other across the panel boundary. It's fucking, you know, it's a subtle thing, but it's just Urasawa reminding us that he knows what he's doing. I think it's super cool. And then, yeah, just the quiet thud as everyone else is applauding. Like, it is funny, but it's also scary.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in a way, it's just like, there's all of these people that don't know anything about what they've walked into, you know? Like, they just don't know. And there is, and this incredibly dangerous thing is unfolding quietly.
Right behind them. And in front of them and everywhere. Yeah.
You know. Johann takes Shuvald's hands, leads him to the podium. Shuvald asks, "What is it that you want?" And Johann just says, "It's a full house," which, you know,
that's
but
it's extremely ominous. Yeah,
it's super ominous, and but I don't know. I guess maybe it's just to me that I feel like, and maybe it's also because I've read more of the manga, but I don't like the idea that what Johann really wants is chaos. I think that's a little. I mean,
that's Roberto's read, yeah, and maybe it's too, like you said. Sorry, I cut you off, but I think that's maybe simplifying a bit.
Yeah, you know, it's like, what does Johann actually want? I don't know, and every time someone asks him, he doesn't give them a straight answer. So, like, I don't think we should rely or default to that. I think we should be still questioning, what does Johann actually want? Like, he does chaos. But why? Like, what the chaos to me is much more of an effect. Like, it seems more means than end to me.
Okay.
But yeah, the last one standing at the end of the world. I don't know. Yeah, and then Shuvald is shaking. He says, "What have I done?" You know, he thought he could
says,
outplay.
"I see." As the
I
first
see.
thing.
Yeah, he does, and he's got a little vein popping out. Yeah. What have I done? He thought he could outmaneuver Johann, but now he sees that he just walked into the trap. And we see Roberto in a much more keyed up mood than normal. The teeth are out. You know, he says, "Watch quietly." Yes, and his fucking face in that panel is super scary. You know, he's got this smirk. Ugh. And there's this panel on the next page of him just, like, fucking smashing Tenma
with the stock of the sniper rifle. He does it a couple times, because there's another one where it's, like, directly on the face, right?
Yeah,
it's like a closer shot. He is beating him to a pulp.
And it's just, like, Tenma's, like, not a fighter. Tenma, it really reminds you that Tenma doesn't belong in this world. Tenma's not some kind of trained action hero.
He's
Tenma's
a trained doctor.
Yeah,
and
he's
this
a
is what
fucking
Roberto says.
doctor.
You're a doctor.
Yes.
You don't take lives. You save lives. That's your work. He's like, I take lives.
Yeah,
this is my work. Watch me work.
And he's fucking right. And here he is. He's working. Like, this is his operating room.
Yep.
Oh,
that's a phrase that's been used in other stuff, and it's always hard as hell, right? It's so sick.
Yeah. And then Shuval does a really baller move.
Yeah.
Which I love this, right? Because, so what Shuval does here is he's on the podium, and instead of making his speech, he's like, hey, listen carefully. Please evacuate this building.
Well, and the panel's cool too, right? Because it's like, it's just a blank white panel, and it's, you must all evacuate this building. Because it's the other panels where we see shots of him, there's the curtains behind.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
But this one, it's like, it is gone completely. It's weird. It's just him saying, you must all evacuate this building. And it's synced up with Johan it's like such a cool, the signal he gives to start the fire, right? It's like, we're cutting between the three things that are happening. It's like, Shuwal is getting to the important part in his speech. Johan raises his finger, right? Shuwal says his thing, and Johan swipes his finger down. The match goes down, building's up in flames. Like,
yeah,
it's sick.
It's really cool. Like that little thing, that the shot of Johan behind Shuval, there's this really, like, easy to skip over, but super interesting panel. Shuval is taking up kind of the foreground, and in the background, there's just Johan, completely expressionless, with his hand raised. And it's
finger up, and
there's just something up. I guess because, like, you see that and it's confusing. You go, what's he doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that state of looking at Johan and not knowing what he's doing is really, I think that's kind of at the heart of how the readers experience, how everyone experiences Johan, is not knowing what the fuck he's doing.
Right, because this is immediately what Roberto says. He's like confused, and he's like,
Roberto.
"Oh my gosh!"
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. It's just like, seeing this panel to me is just such a distillation of this strange thing you can't understand, and then a moment later you realize it was violence.
Yeah, and it's so sick. Like, you have the motion of him swiping his finger down.
Yeah, and
on
his
the opposite
panel, his finger exits the panel.
Yeah.
When he swipes his finger down. And we know that, like, that doesn't happen super duper often in this manga, but his finger is outside of the panel in this really interesting way.
So you've got the motion line of him going down, and then on the opposite panel, the motion line of the match going up against the...
Oh, yeah.
It's sick.
And then the page ends with this incredible panel of the creepy lady, whose name we just don't know, standing halfway in the shadows, but, like, she's also outlined a little by the light of the match. It's killer. It's so fucking killer. Yeah. And then she drops the match. Her fucking unhinged face lit. And then the fire, and then boom, and then on the next page, it's all chaos. And look at that chaos page. Hello, diagonal panels.
Scramble panels. It's great.
Fuck yeah. And again, we've talked about the importance of non-orthogonal panels in this manga, and here it's the second time we've seen them after the death of the Fortners. This is only the second time.
Did you check?
I don't have to check. I know that we've only seen it this time and that one other time.
Are you
where there
sure?
was
I
one
thought we've
panel.
had non-orthogonal panels.
There was one other time where we had one, and it was a very, very minor one.
Okay. Well, didn't we get him when Johan freaked out?
I don't know if we got a diagonal panel. We got an unusual angle. We got a Dutch angle. Okay. But I think the panel itself, I'm pretty sure about this. I only have this one book with me right now. I mean, if any listeners want to no prize me on this.
It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's we can just say yes. This is this is the second
either
time
way. I mean, regardless of how many times it's happened, we know what it means.
Exactly. There we go. The number doesn't matter. The effect does.
And the panel, the half of the page that is dedicated to the crowd going insane is really good. oh my god, just seeing them scramble everywhere, the chairs, like, there are no shortcuts taken in this panel. Every person is drawn by hand, every chair is drawn by hand. It is really, 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 really impressive.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, it's a great crowd shot. And, like, crowd shots are... Because here's the thing, right? Crowd shots are difficult at the best of times. But this is a crowd shot where everyone is running. Every single person is in a unique pose. Or, like, if not totally unique, very close to it. And even if the pose isn't unique, the angle is... You know, like, it's almost Renaissance painting levels of, like, here's this person doing this thing, and this person doing another thing, and this person doing yet another thing. Like, really... You know, listeners, I would encourage you to take a bit of time and just look at this panel and really appreciate the work that put into making it what it is. Because it's a big one, and you've got these big scream, you know, the big scream onomatopoeia. That's wah! You know, that's the screaming in terror. It's fucking cool. Yeah, and then we go to Roberto being confused. And then being delighted, overjoyed, like ants. They're all swarming like ants, trying to escape. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Bah, 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 bah. Like, fucking, I don't care. I don't care, man. Ugh. I just wish Urasawa had picked one of the times to use this image. I wish he had just done it one single time. Swarming like ants. I don't know. Fucking annoying. Man.
Yeah, I don't have any more notes. I mean, because, like, I think the conversation
chapter,
that Johan and Schuwald have here isn't really too much. I think the end of this chapter is cool, right? But, like, I don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I think probably most other stuff I have to say about this is just, like, all of the crowd shots of them rampaging, of them trying to escape. This is Urasawa showing you what he's trained and practiced for. Look at those faces. Look at those expressions of fear. Look at how many unique character models we're getting, and look at how believable all of their expressions are. Like, this is the power of the face first manga, is to really, you know, like Johan says, can you feel it? Their fear? Yeah, I fucking can. I can see it. Urasawa has transmitted it so directly to me. You know, it's really... He makes it look easy. This isn't easy. This really... Drawing this many people with such authentic emotion is not an easy thing to do.
No.
You know, and keep in mind, right, again, keep in mind the breakdown of the roles in manga, which is that Urasawa is drawing the characters, right? He's drawing the characters, and then his assistants are doing the background. So when you have these crowd shots, you know, guess who's doing all of that? It's Urasawa. Urasawa's doing the heavy lifting on those crowd shots. So, just give it up. Give it up for the big man.
Clap, clap, clap. Tremble, tremble, tremble.
Yeah, Taking Lives is my line of work. Another great panel. This is just a really, like, visually awesome chapter. There's a lot of cool shots. The shots of Roberto against the smoke and the banister while Tenma's, like, pointing the gun at him. It's fucking
sick. Yeah, I mean, Roberto just looks, like, amused that Tenma is pointing this gun at him. It's good.
And then Dawn with the blood splatter. Very 90s blood splatter.
Oh, yeah.
Super 90s. I really wonder how they're going to do that in the anime.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. What a chapter, man. Okay. Chapter 73. Demon in My Eyes. Tenma shoots Roberto. And he shoots him twice. Roberto falls over the banister. Tenma's hands have stopped shaking. he charges into the smoke, and he shoots the lock off the door to get everyone out. In the meantime, Johann and Schuvald have a little conversation. And Johann asks Schuvald if Schuvald can see him. Nina is outside the library. They run into Dieter and Reichwein. And they look out the window, and there's fire. It really feels like the pacing of this reading is like, here's a chapter where not a lot happens, here's a chapter where a lot happens, here's a chapter where not a lot happens, here's a chapter where a lot happens. You know, it's this really... It's this kind of cool, like, push-pull kind of feeling to it. You know, and I think this is also, pacing-wise, it kind of stands separate from, say, the, from the Turkish Quarter thing. I don't know, every word evacuated my brain there. It's very separate from the Turkish Quarter thing because, like we said, right, that was super cinematic, that was very much like a film, you know, and this is also kind of like a movie, or maybe more like, honestly, like a finale of a television series, a bit more. But the Turkish Quarter arc really, it had that ramping up feel, right?
Yeah.
Like stuff kept accelerating and going up, and then here's the climax, and wow, we're done. And this is very much not paced that way. This is very much like here's an action packed like dip, and now here is like some character stuff and some more slow paced things to kind of explore more the characters or the past or the future. What you got?
Yeah, I hesitate to say that the Turkish Quarter stuff was fun, like to use that word to describe it, but that is almost how I would do it, right? Is like, that was just like, oh, sick, yeah, fun action adventure movie, right? Like, there's some horrific stuff in there, but like, that one's like you said, it's like we're ramping up. I mean, the baby is just like comical is the other thing,
totally.
too, right?
The baby is a really... the baby's presence, like, the baby is both scary, but his almost like... The baby almost strikes me as kind of almost a Western style comic book villain.
Yes.
You know, and in that sense, although the stakes were very high and very real, they weren't quite as like deadly serious in tone as they could be, because the baby was an inherently comical guy.
Yes. This is all serious. This is just like, we're going, and it is, I mean, like I said, I was listening to like horrible drone music while I was reading this. It was like,
really gotta be something.
I mean, it was fun. It was cool. After I just said that this segment was not fun.
Yeah. But like, no, I get you. It is a different tone. You know.
I like how angry Roberto is that when the first time Tenma shoots him, like the rage. He's just like, "You shot me?"
Yeah.
The slow-mo going over the railing is what you just said. That's one of the things that you like, right? Is like we're slowing down and there's a ton of frames for this as he goes over the banister.
Yes, totally.
It's good. I like it.
The shot of the first time Tenma fires the gun is also really well rendered. Like, it's just this cool close-up of Tenma's hands in the gun as the recoil, and you've got this really good motion blur. I just like looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. And he shoots twice, and Roberto just goes over.
And then you mentioned it, it's the shaking stops, right? So, and my note is, it was the shaking his fear of being killed or his fear of having to kill? I think it's the second one, and that makes me go, uh-oh.
It's the second one.
Uh-oh.
Tenma did it. He did it. And it wasn't even Johann. It was fucking Roberto.
Yep. And he gets the guts berserk eyes for a second, right? With dark, shadowy eyes as his hand stops shaking.
Yeah, we don't see his eyes for most of this spread. Until we see that he goes, the shaking has stopped. But also, in the imaginary of Monster, while Tenma has killed, he is not a murderer because this was in self-defense.
Yes.
It is important. It is important that he did a killing, but it was in self-defense, and as we know, that's not the same.
Well, and because this
to
chapter
manga,
opens
to
with
Monster.
his flashback to his shooting instructor, who
Yeah.
tells him like the only way that you're going to be able to kill is like when it is your life or the other person's.
Yeah,
And that's
you
and that's
won't
what happens.
know whether you'll be able to do it until you have to pull the trigger. And I think that was bringing that back. Was a really good move on Urasawa's part, because I was thinking about that panel as the moment was coming, and then the panel showed up, and I was like, oh right, yeah, here it is.
There it is. Yeah,
like there it is. It's a good setting something up, and now it's relevant. There's also a bit where he's running down the smoky stairs and he just falls down them, and we see his like legs. It's almost like a comedy panel. It's kind of weird. But he just like blah, just face plants. And there's all the people like asphyxiating from the smoke, and the other people trying to get the fuck out. Ooh, man.
I think it's so sinister that like Johan can kind of still, because there's some of Shewald's people like trying to figure out how to get him out, and Johan is still like in charge of those people. Like they don't know that he is the one who has done this.
Yeah, and he's like he's in charge, and he's still completely calm. And he's like, "Do you have a safe exit route? Are you going to push Herr Schuwald through that sea of flames? You know, like, what a fucking freako. Just a spooky guy." And then they have a little conversation. You know, and Schuwald asks, "You didn't want to take my place?" And Johann says, "Not anymore. I've had another idea." So, like we were saying, that was his original plan.
Yeah,
And
we're
then,
not doing nameless monster rules anymore. We've changed.
Yeah.
It's something else.
Something else is going the fuck on. And we don't know what. And there's this great spread. Look at that spread, baby!
Is that Can You See Me? It's
yeah,
incredible.
Can You See Me? Oh man, you want to describe it? I feel like I've been talking too much.
Yeah, so this is a 2-page spread of the text is huge. I think this is like the biggest text that we've ever seen, right? It's
for
Johan
just a speech bubble,
asking, "Can you see me?" And he is holding Schuwald. He's leaning down to Schuwald. He's got his head in his hands. It's, you know, he's looking directly into him. Schuwald's eyes are glassy. It reminds me of, you know, from the story, the way that the monster eats people or things like that. Like it's kind of like that, but it's just, it's wild. It's a huge panel. I don't think we've ever seen either of them this big before. Like no one's been blown up this large.
I don't know if we've actually had a full page spread of something this close up.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure not. You know, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And it's like, it's intimate, which makes it even worse, you know.
And he's smiling a little. Well, I mean, he's not really smiling, but he's got,
doing
it's
the
like
Johan
flat.
face.
Yeah, he's doing the flat
Johan
face. Can you see me? Yeah. And then we've got the page of eyes, right? Of them looking at each other.
Yes, this page is really good. This double page is super neat. Keep it going.
Yeah, he says, so Johan says, "I know you're almost blind, but this close, can you see the reflection in my eyes?" Right? And we cut between, we're getting closer and closer on, you know, 2 eyes with some of the face, and then just the eyes, and then 1 eye at a time. And for a second, Schuwald's eyes on glass.
Yeah,
right? And like
he
can see him.
Yeah,
which I think is wild. And I think that question of like, can you see the reflection in my eyes is so cool. Like there's so much you can dig into there, right? It's like, is Schuwald seeing himself in Johann's eyes, right? Like, is that because Johan was trying to become Schuwald? Or has Johan become Schuwald's reflection? Is it like, what's going on? I don't know. It's good. And then we get a new phrase. "I was born in a fairy tale village. Many people died. I walked hand in hand with my other self." We have a new creepy fairy tale that is leading us into this next segment of the story.
I walked hand in hand with my other self. Man, it's so... Yeah, it's really cool. Like what happens next? Like, what is left to explore? Like, here it is. You know, what is this? What does this mean? It was as if only the two of us existed in the entire world, we had no names. And so that raises an interesting question. Or rather, it carries with it an interesting implication, which is that Johann used to exist, and now he does not.
Okay, interesting.
Only the two of us existed in the entire world. Or like, I don't know, because Johann says, "Can you see me?" Which means there's something to be seen. I don't know. I'm probably getting too hung up on, like, the particulars of language here, but it feels like Johann sometimes says he exists and sometimes says that he doesn't, or he has existed previously or doesn't exist now. But there's also something about, can you see the reflection in my eyes? That's like, well, that's not even me. Are you seeing something else? Are you seeing
yourself?
Yeah.
And is that, have I become you? Are you literally just seeing yourself?
Yeah. It's fancy. There's some fancy mechanics going on around here.
Yeah.
Foofa doofa. Yeah, and Shuvald shakes and shivers.
Love it. It's good. Hey, I'd love it when two groups of our characters show up at the same time, coincidentally.
Oh, it's the best.
It's always good.
It's the best. You love it. And then there's a fire. Oh fuck, there's a fire. Whew, man. Heck of a chapter. I'm loving, Matt, I am sure loving this episode.
This is a very good reading and a very good episode.
Like, we are getting so much
pod out of this.
Yeah, this is fucking, I feel like we're getting a pretty worthy mid-season finale out of this. We're already at 2 hours.
This is a 5-star runtime. Yeah, is where we are today.
Oh yeah, we've still got another 4 chapters to go.
And there's some good stuff in these chapters.
Dude. Oh man.
This next chapter,
I think the last half of this reading should go faster than the first, though.
I think it will.
I would say.
And also, I will say, because I think the beginning of this next chapter sucks shit. So the beginning of chapter 74 is no good.
What? Oh man. Okay, we'll summarize first, and then we'll get to it.
Yeah. So chapter 74 is called "A Letter from Mother." Carl returns to Schuwald's study to fetch the document that Schuwald left behind. When he picks it up, a picture of his mother, Margot Langer, falls out. So Carl opens the document and removes the contents. First is a biographical report on his mother from a detective agency, detailing how she emigrated from the Czech Republic, became a sex worker, and then became attached to Schuwald. There are details about her son who was sent to foster care, to which Carl adds his own commentary about how alone that son was. Margot Langer became attached to the man who ran the underground criminal bank, and eventually retired to Offenbach, where she lived with a beautiful young man before she was murdered. Also in the document is a letter from Margot, which talks about how the man who lives with her reminds her of her friend from the Czech Republic, who didn't escape, but did have twins. She also speaks of her wishes for her son to have a happy life, which brings Carl to tears. We cut back to the fire. Dieter has called the fire department, and Reichwein is trying to break down the locked doors. Tenma emerges from the smoke and shoots the hinges off, and with the help of some bystanders, knocks the door down and tells the people to exit in a single file line. Tenma approaches the stage where Johann stands with Schuwald. He levels his shot, and Johann smiles, walking towards him, touching his forehead. Tenma prepares to shoot when Nina appears, shouting for him to stop, before a curtain collapses and the scene is engulfed in flames. It's sick. When we cut, and I think my problem with the first half of this chapter is it's the pacing. Like we said, like it's going up, down, stuff's happening, stuff's not. We just pause to have this long chunk of exposition, which like some of this stuff we already know. And I think that is like what is frustrating to me is like, I know this already. You don't need to tell me this. And then I think it's too nice and cute that of course Carl's mom was friends with Johann and Nina's mom. Like, I don't like that. I don't care for it.
That is a little.
In her letter, where she's like, "Man, this boy really reminds me of my friend who stayed in the Czech Republic." Like, I don't care. This is terrible.
Well, it also means that Johann killed his mom.
Yeah,
it was Johann, which
I think Richard had said that already. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I like it for specifically one reason. Like, you're right. None of this, like, almost none of this is necessary or important. There's one sequence here, though, that I really like, where Carl is reading it, and he goes, he's mentioned in the report.
This is good. You're right.
The child was shuffled from foster home to foster home. He suffered quite a bit. Some of the foster parents were very good to him, but he was alone. He was always alone. And then he gives a little rueful smile and says, "No, it doesn't say that in here anywhere." You know, he's just
that's
editorializing
really good.
himself onto that. Yeah, so like that, to me, this sequence is so like it's such a good sequence for Carl that I can forgive the rest of the bullshit.
Okay. It closes Carl's arc, I think, or at least this is a better close to Carl's arc than him and Schuwald having their tearful reunion on the phone. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not alone anymore. My father wanted me to read this letter. It's all right, Mother. I'm okay now. He says it. I'm okay now. So there's Carl's arc wrapped up. In a pretty nice way. But you know, that raises an interesting question, which is like, would we have wanted to put this somewhere else?
I don't know. Maybe before like, everything kicks off, but like I don't know.
Oh, it couldn't have been before.
Well, like,
that would have mucked up the pacing there if it was.
Yeah,
before.
I think you're right. I guess you're right. There's nowhere this can go except here.
No. You know what? I think it could go like after Schuwald's in the hospital.
Okay, you're right. That's where we put it. Hospital chunk. You know? Where I have that document that you asked me to go get, and then I read it there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
And I think it's, like I said, it's because, like, I don't want to be here. I want to be in the fire. I want to see what's going on over there.
Totally. Yeah, what's going on with that? You know, and Tenma, like you said, shoots Lux out the door, which I mistakenly put in the summary for the previous chapter. Whoops. But it does it here.
Yeah. And I love that. Like, my favorite part of that is the realization that the bystander guy has, like, I need, like, we have to work together. Like, let me help this guy. Like, he is trying to save us. Like, I love it when people work together, just like strangers. Yeah. It's the Spider-Man thing, right? In Spider-Man 2, where everyone carries him through the train. Like, nothing moves me to tears faster than, like, people working together.
Definitely.
It's good.
Yeah. It's also interesting because, like, so here is Tenma. Saving a bunch of people, and lucky for them, Tenma was here.
There we go. Good call.
But he doesn't stick around.
He runs back into the fire.
Yeah, he checks how many bullets he still has, and he runs off before anyone can thank him. No bedside manner this time. He's got a job to do. And then action hero Nina.
In heels.
Fucking smashes out a window, like, up top with a fire extinguisher, jumps in through the window, action hero Nina. We love her.
I love Nina Fortner.
Yeah. And there's this great panel of Johann and Schuwald in the middle of the smoke, just standing there.
Yeah, we can't quite make out their faces. Like, they're just far enough away. And then we, like, slow zoom in on them. It's so good.
It's really good. Yeah, and then Johann does the thing. Oh man, this page is so good of him walking towards Tenma.
Yeah, like he's moving. He's booking it. Like there is...
Yeah, and then the finger on the forehead. Right here. Shoot me right here. Nina stops him. The curtain collapses. Chapter 75. Traces of the Heart. Nina stops Tenma from shooting. Johann just keeps walking. Walks right off into the smoke. They do not get him. Although Nina tries. And then, actually, the curtain collapses. So there's a little bit of editorializing. There's a little bit of a reworking of that moment. And then we skip to later. We skip to the hospital. Nina's in the hospital. And then we skip to the ruins of the library. Lunga's here. Looking for clues. He talks to Carl, who tells him that, Johann's real. And then Lunga goes to Johann's room and looks around and finds no data to input. Johann has left no traces of his presence at all. which Lunga considers impossible. Lotta meets up with Nina in the hospital and says that Tenma was there. Tenma was at the library, and that's the chapter. I don't have any notes for this one.
I have some notes.
Great.
I mean, the first one is something that you mentioned, right? Like, I think it's cool that this happens like between the last two panels of the last chapter. That it's like we're going back and expanding what happened there, which I don't think is a move we've really seen before. I mean, the only time we've seen something like this before is when Ava did her flashback and was like, "I was there too," but that was like a lot later on. We haven't really had this happen where it's like
immediate.
We're like, okay, no, we're staying here a little bit longer and expanding. Like, we ended on the action beat, but like there's a little bit more to show.
It's a very I'll be honest, it's an incredibly rare move to use. I honestly don't know if I've really seen it done quite this way elsewhere. This feels like to me, honestly, it feels like a kind of janky solution.
Yes.
To a problem.
I think it can get confusing reading the collected edition, right? But like if you were reading week to week, I think this works, right?
Totally.
But,
I mean, it's kind of like, it's like when you have an ad break in the middle of an episode and then they like, so you see it more often actually in anime and TV. You see a move a bit like this.
It feels like a thing that happens in Dragon Ball Z a lot. Is like
exactly.
The other thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it's something worth bringing attention to. Like, because it is a little bit. Things get a little muddy because there's the thing of like Nina seems to have a little bit of trouble remembering exactly what happens, right? Like she says there was a Japanese man there, and it seems like it takes her a little bit of time to realize like, oh, that was Dr. Tenma, even though like when we're seeing it in the thing, it's Dr. Tenma, stop, like she knows that it's there. So like that it's not clunky, like that feels like what would happen if you were in an accident, right? Like you probably wouldn't remember exactly what happened, right? It would be a little fuzzy. So kind of almost thematically, this works the same way, right? Like we're a little confused what's going on. It's stuff's happening, but I love how there's a lot of black space in this part of the chapter, right? Is like we have the borders around these panels, like part of it is as the smoke's starting to close in, and some of it is like as people are remembering what happened in this accident, right? Like there's a lot of, instead of just like the white that we usually see around the panels, it's the thick black borders. Well, black background is shorthand for flashbacks.
Okay.
In manga, that's a pretty standard thing that they do.
Right, but like no one's flashing back yet. Well, I guess like technically this whole thing is a flashback because it happened between those two panels. Would be the thing, right? But like
exactly.
Or maybe Nina is flashing back because after it ends, she's in the hospital bed. So this is her. She's remembering.
It's her remembering what happened in that moment. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
It is cool. I do want to take a quick moment. I love how Urasawa draws smoke.
Yeah, the grit and the smoke. It's so cool.
Yeah. Whoa, you can really feel it flowing. You can see the air currents. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's a little news interview show, and people are like, "Hey, there was an Asian guy. An Asian guy helped us escape." The one Asian man
in Germany.
Yeah.
I do like, and that it's like the guy who says an Asian man helped us escape. It's like, is he okay? Like it's
yeah.
It's good.
It's Tenma.
People are always worried about him.
Yeah.
The curtain collapsing, like I think all of that stuff is drawn beautiful. It's very good. I like the Lunga stuff in this chapter a lot, right? Because he gives his like thesis about people can't vanish without leaving a trace, right? That would be it'd be a demon, right? Like something supernatural, right? That's not the way it works, right? And then he is immediately confronted with
instantly.
Oh no, that is
like, yeah.
And he goes, because he does, I am Johan, I do not exist. And then like he just kind of like laughs to himself a little bit, right? Like
he doesn't just laugh. Yeah, he says a demon. You know?
I like, is this what cracks him? Like I've fallen for it before when I'm like, oh, he gets it now. And I'm ready for him to keep pushing against it a little bit, but like the scales are starting to come off. Like, he's starting to, I think, realize what's going on, and I'm so excited to see.
Like, there's something. Yeah, I love this. This honestly, this might be the single moment in the manga I think about most often.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't call it the most important moment or anything, but it's just him looking at this completely blank room, and there's two panels, the same panel side by side, of his hand still, like ready to type, but nothing to type. And that, I don't know, there's something about that moment to me that's just like, there's nothing here. This is, Johan doesn't exist, or he's not human. I don't know, there's all these... I just love how many questions there are about who and what Johan is. Is he a person? Is he a demon? Does he exist? Does he not exist? Does he work the same way we do? Is he something else entirely? Is he supernatural or just super normal? All of this stuff is still completely unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just awesome.
It's great. A panel that I had missed that I made a note to call out. It's a couple pages earlier. It's when Lunga is talking to Carl, and Carl shows him the picture of Johan, right? And Lunga has this. He remembers Rudy and Tenma both telling him about Johan Liebert. And the two memories, it's like Rudy comes in on the left side, right? We see, and then Tenma comes in on the right side. Like, I think that's such a cool little panel sequence.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The way he's having those
flops.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, but thanks for calling that out. That's a fun little move.
I like that one.
This is page 151 for those reading along. And page 150 has a number on it, so you'll be able to find 151. Yeah, we got lucky on this one, folks. Yeah. A demon, he says, and he laughs to himself. So interesting. So interesting. Excited to see where that goes. Yeah, man. It's a pretty okay chapter. It's definitely, like, the least stuff-y.
Yeah,
although it has that bit.
Cool.
It has that bit with Lunga in the hotel in Johan's room. So like that carries the whole chapter for me.
Yeah, I think it works. Okay, chapter 76, Hell in His Eyes.
And let's not forget 73 was Demon in My Eyes.
Oh, okay. So now we've got Demon in My Eyes, Hell in His Eyes. Okay. Lunga attempts to interrogate a seemingly comatose Schuwald, asking about the fire, Tenma, and finally Johan, at which point Schuwald begins to tremble. Lunga then goes to interview Nina, but she's already gone. We find her in Reichwein's office, finishing up her side of the story. Reichwein begs Nina to stop her hunt for Johan and promises that he and Rudy will help her and Tenma and that they'll be able to get the truth out. Nina seems to remember who it was that saved her from the fire and confirms that Tenma was there. Nina sits sadly on Reichwein's porch. Dieter brings her some sandwiches, and they both sit sadly, missing Tenma. Back at the hospital, Carl talks to Schuwald about what they'll do once he recovers, and suddenly Schuwald speaks, mumbling a fragment of a nursery rhyme, and then saying he saw hell in Johan's eyes. He asks Carl to go to Dresden to meet a man and deliver a message. As Carl departs, Schuwald asks if his mother hated him, and Carl tells him that of course she didn't. Schuwald asks if Carl will stay with him always once he returns, and Carl says of course he will. The two bid a tearful goodbye.
This is a pretty good chapter.
It's good. It's good. Hey, Quinn?
Yeah?
Let's talk about those sandwiches. Where have we seen those before? Do you know?
These are the sandwiches that Nina made for Tenma.
Yes.
Way back when.
This is the same meal. It's the sandwich and I guess, is it a cup of coffee?
Looks like coffee.
Yeah, and the thing that this, like, legitimately, this made me cry. Because I will read what Dieter says. And hang on. He says, the bread is Kaiser Semmel with roast ham and Gouda cheese. It's Tenma's favorite, right? This is Tenma's favorite sandwich. This sandwich that she made for him, like, when she left him the note that said, like, live your life, save as many people as you can, right? Like, this is the most like human connection that he's had. This was his favorite sandwich, and Dieter knows it, right? Like this is a thing that Tenma has made obvious. Like,
I hadn't thought about that. I'm tearing up.
She made it for him, and now Dieter's making it for her. Like, she made it for him to make him feel better, and now like Tenma has done this for her too. Like through Dieter, it is like. Oh my gosh. Like, I sat there and cried. I mean, part of it was I was listening to, I had Phoebe Bridgers going on. It was Graceland 2, which like,
well, that's cheating. That's performance enhancing right there.
It is. Yeah. I mean, Graceland 2 is like her saddest song, or in my opinion, one of her saddest songs. Because it's a happy, sad one, right? It's the same emotions that are happening here, but like, holy cow. Like, I think this is another, we've hit on a couple moments that really make this the mid-season finale, right? Like Lunga turning off the computer, right? Like having that realization, like this here, right? Like it's all the stuff with Nina and Tenma. It's, man alive, it's so good. And you can only do this in a long form story. This isn't something that works if you're just telling something that's a movie and is here and done, right? Like this only works because we have the history. And everything between.
Have the history. It only works because we still have so much further to go.
Yeah,
like
we have so much that's happened between the first appearance of that sandwich and now, and we have so much more to go. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Oh man, alive. But stepping back, right? Like, because I don't really have too many other notes. If we go back to the beginning of the chapter, the Lunga conversation, I love that he's convinced that he can see lucidity in Shuwal's eyes. Like totally. I just think that's great. I've come around on Lunga a lot, I think.
Yeah.
There's still things he do that frustrate me a lot.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Like I've come around on him a lot.
I just love having him around. Like he pisses me off, but I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that the bare hospital bed of Nina kind of echoes the empty room of Johan. So there's that.
And like their original disappearance too is the other thing. Oh, like true. way back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When Dieter and Nina are eating, there's this beautiful shot of them just in the backyard. And it's really gorgeously drawn, and you can really feel the nature, you know?
Mm-hmm. Sunshine coming through the trees. I wish he was here. I wish he was here too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's wistful. It's very wistful.
Mm-hmm.
In a really effective way. I saw hell in his eyes. I saw hell in the eyes of a living human being.
What does that mean?
Does that mean?
Especially since the thing that Johan asked him was, "Do you see your reflection in my eyes?" Like,
yeah. Well, do you see the reflection?
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
we've been presuming that would mean. We're presuming that would mean
he's seeing himself in some way or another. Yeah.
But that's not necessarily all there is to it. Mm-hmm. I saw hell. God damn, what is hell?
What's going on?
Like, so we've got enough religious connotation here, right? We've got a monster, we've got a demon,
revelation.
Now we've got hell. And now we have a question.
Quinn, do you want me? You're going to love this. You're going to love what I'm about to say. Okay. So I used to think that this was a belief that was kind of specific to the denomination that I grew up in, but recently I've been going to some other churches with friends and stuff like that, and a couple weeks ago there was a sermon about hell, and we kind of all had a discussion at the end, like, hey, what does everyone think that hell is? And the most common answer, and the one that was kind of supported by the sermon, was the idea, at least in Christian denominations, is that hell, a lot of times you think fire and brimstone, suffering, torture, all that stuff, right? Like big and scary and horrible. But I think really what hell is this idea that you are separated from God and from everyone else, right? You're isolated, you cease to exist, right? Like that's it. Like
fuck.
Yep. Happy Sabbath.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! What a good birthday present that was. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Fuck! Christ on a crispy cracker.
Good stuff.
That's pretty good. No, I mean that's like hell. Hell is
it's separation.
Isolation. It's
that's what it is.
Separation from God. Very, very interesting. Okay, well, let's hold on to that.
Yeah, I mean, because I think at the same time, you could say, yeah, the hell that we're seeing is that fire and brimstone hell, but we also know that the hell that people puts Johan through is severing all of their connections and making them be alone.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting. Very fucking interesting.
Good stuff.
And then there's a bit with, Shuvald, your mother, she hated me, didn't he? No, she didn't hate you at all. Will you stay with me always? Yes. What about your fucking foster parents, you jerk?
Yeah, I'm tired of them being tender for each other. I
don't like it pisses like it's clear. Like at this point it just feels like
it's just mean.
It's just mean. I don't know what Urasawa's deal is. This just feels like, why would you have that scene with the foster parents if you're just gonna fuck them over? They're perfectly lovely people. They don't deserve this. Like, this is a bad thing, actually.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks, actually.
This was a mean thing that Johan did, and now we have to live with it.
Yeah, like, Jesus. So it's... I have complicated, distasteful feelings about this that I don't know if the manga shares. And so I'm willing to give it a... Like, you know that emoji that's kind of like the...
Yeah.
Like you're kind of like sick, you're like wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
I give this ending an official stamp of that emoji.
A scrunched grimace. Yeah,
that's how this makes me feel. It's just like, yeah.
Anyway.
Chapter 77. The Frogs of Fairy Tale Land. Rudy puts Nina through regression therapy with everyone in the room. And then they have dinner and talk about the police, talk about how they're going to try and get Johan. And then Nina leaves in the morning alone, except, there's Dieter. Dieter's coming along, because that's how he goes. And then we cut to Dresden. Carl is there. Carl runs into Tenma and gives him the message from Shuvald, which is, if the monster you're chasing has a twin, the mother of the twins is alive in Prague. Bum 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 bum
dun,
bum
dun,
bum
dun.
bum. Monster.
What a way to end. Like, it's good because we've already, we've hit the climax. Yeah. We're coming down, and then this is like a nice little tease of what we've got coming up. We have a new sinister nursery rhyme that's leading us into the next chapter.
You'll love a new one.
Yeah, I love that. That's how we unlock backstory, is with spooky children's books.
And this is the exact midpoint of the story. By the way, this is precisely 4.5
so
volumes
tight,
in.
so clean.
It's extremely clean, and you really have to wonder, like, since it is so clean, is that a coincidence, or did Urasawa know exactly how long it was going to be? I don't know how he could have, but man, it's weird how perfect it is for this to be the exact midway point. Because I
wonder how much he outlines. Yeah, like, I'm really curious what his scripting process is like.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And this is to me, this chapter is a really nice button. And it leaves me feeling like super satisfied, very refreshed, and really ready to dive into what comes next.
Oh, I've been dying to read the next chapter, next section. I am so excited to keep going.
I'm really excited too. But first we have to talk about this chapter, which begins with a shot of Nina's eyes, which is the same as the shot of Johan's eyes from the sequence with Shuvald.
Oh, yeah. We also got to talk about, I mean, you mentioned it, like the regression, repressed memories, therapy stuff.
With everyone in the room.
It's really uncomfortable. So this just, I don't know if you're current with Just King Things, but...
I am, yeah. Yeah.
So
go on.
Everyone go listen to that episode. They talk about it. Because like anything that I see here is
Dorothy
like second...
Claiborne, right? Is the one
I
where
think
they
it was
talk
Dolores
about...
Claiborne. Yeah. It's at the beginning of that episode. It's the Dolores Claiborne one.
Yeah. But there was a whole thing, especially in the 80s in the United States, where like regression therapy, unlocking repressed memories of generally bad things was like a big deal. And so this feels kind of like a call to that. I guess it was still kind of going somewhat in the 90s. This is how you ended up with Satanic Panic, essentially, because if you ask a bunch of kids, do you remember this, eventually they'll just say yes.
Right, and that was kind of the thing that came out later, was like, it was a lot of just like, I guess, therapists just kind of bullying people.
Essentially,
and
yeah, so it's just like regression therapy. I mean, look, I'm no professional yet. I guess I will be eventually, but
there we go.
Regression therapy is seems silly.
Right, and the thing that I think Kanzelman says in that episode that's important is like, there are of course instances of people repressing memories related to traumatic experiences, but kind of the phenomenon in the 90s was like a lot of, you know, smoke and mirrors and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cold reading and bullying, but it would have been like still in the news. And I think, you know, just like how we talked about Freud, right, and how like Freud isn't right or real or anything, but it can still be like an interesting tool to like do stories and think about things. I think it's the same for this idea of like repressed memories, right? Like, this is a fictional story, like maybe that's the way that this works.
It is
right?
really 90s.
Yeah.
It is super 90s to be like, repressed memories are going to be the key to this mystery, you know? Yeah. Very Fincher too, I would say.
It's an interesting device to use.
Nina is wearing a very smart black dress for therapy for whatever reason.
I noticed that too. Like, we've never seen Nina look like this before.
No, yeah, it's a smart dress. No patterns. Like, she normally wears patterns. She wears kind of lighter colors. Even when she's running around with a gun, you know, she's
I'm always commenting on her fits. Like, when she was in France or Italy or wherever, the first time we saw Roberto. Yeah.
It was Nice, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. So that's France.
Yeah. Then they go and eat. They eat the vice versa again.
I love the dinner sequence here. This is like, everyone is together.
They're all they're talking shop.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is another instance of me like being like fallen for it, right? Like, I'm optimistic reading this. I'm like, yeah, they are going to work together and go out and solve this. But like, of course they're not. Everyone's going to run away and split up again, right? But like,
yeah, totally.
It's good. Because I think the thing for Nina is she kind of realizes like how long this is going to take. That's the thing that keeps coming up. Is like, how much time? How long do you think this is going to take? Like, we don't have that time. I have to keep moving. He will not stop. I cannot stop.
Yeah, we've got to catch Johan. We've got to catch Tenma, and we've got to figure out what's going on with these 3 frogs in the fairy tale village.
Yeah. Well, the last thing, says, before we leave dinner, if you go, and then I'll say my thing about the end of dinner.
Oh, I was going to say, well, this is actually after the end of dinner, so you go.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were leaving dinner.
I was leaving dinner.
Dinner
thing.
Oh, yeah, well, at the end of dinner, you know, Reichwein, he kind of closes out. He says, you know, as I told you before, I lost Richard, a dear friend of mine, to this murderer. He had a bright future ahead of him, but Johan took that away. I will not back down from this, no matter what. And then we get a 4-panel reaction shot of everyone, right? Like Lotta, Nina, Dieter, Rudy. I think that page is great, and also I think this is the first time that we've really had like an antithesis to. So if we would say that like Tenma and Nina are operating from what I have to do to stop this, to stop Johan from taking more lives, is we have to take his life, right? Yeah. Whereas Reichwein is saying the thing that makes Johan so monstrous is that he is taking lives, right? That he is cutting people. He is taking away people's futures. He's taking away people's futures. Whoa. And he will not do that. I will not stoop to that level. We have to stop him. He will
not back down. Cool. No, that is cool. That is very cool. Oh,
yeah, futures, I like it a lot.
Taking away futures. Yeah, I mean, Reichwein's a badass. I fucking love Reichwein. He's great.
He's sick. Yeah.
He's the best. And he says, now. let's eat. And then we get another shot. Nina's in bed, and we get another shot of her eye. We get that eye shot again. And she's trembling, and she says, I know. So she remembers what's up with the 3 frogs, but we don't get to know yet. And then there's Dieter following along.
I cannot believe she is taking
Tenma
Dieter.
got for him.
Yeah.
You can't stop Dieter from going fucking anywhere.
Dieter goes where he wants to go, but I am always shocked when people take Dieter with them. I'm like, this is irresponsible.
But he wants to see Tenma.
He does. Dieter goes where people need him.
True. Very true. Yeah. And then we get this extremely 90s thriller-ass sequence.
It's so sick,
this
dude.
This is fucking... I feel like Bourne ripped straight from this.
Oh, yeah. I've been thinking about rewatching those movies, like, for a while now, and I'm definitely going to, after reading this one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this sequence of Carl just, like, meandering around a square in Dresden, and then he, like, passes by someone. And it's Tenma. And he says, I watched you from the top of that building the past 3 days. The police don't seem to be tailing you. And it's like, okay, Tenma.
Secret agent stuff.
Secret agent shit. Yeah.
I do like the flashback of, like, Tenma and Schuwald having the...
Like this is how Schuwald fucking survived, is Tenma saved his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mother of the twins is alive in Prague. Wahoo.
Wahoo. So, are those the 3 frogs? Is it Johan, Nina, and the mom? I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I'm excited.
That would be interesting. I know what the 3 frogs are.
Yeah, I know you know.
I know. Listeners, in case you didn't know, I've read this manga before.
Yeah, huh? So, but I'm excited for whatever comes next. What a good reading. Like, man alive, I'm so happy we do this podcast. I'm so happy we're reading this and talking about it, because it has just been like so much fun. So I'm excited to see what this back half is, right? Like as we keep going. Yeah,
I mean it's super tons of fun, and this was a particularly fun episode to record as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great, because we were really always it had just been a while.
Yeah, we hadn't. I think it was Easter the last time we recorded.
Oh, God, man. Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because we banked up a couple was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like just the way we were recording. So I think it was
brutal. That
it's been a while.
Favorite Tenma moment.
I think it's him shooting the hinges off the door.
Oh, that's a cool
I think.
That's
because it's still, he can take a life, but he is still the doctor who has to save people. So I think that's it for me.
I like that a lot. Scaredy cat Tenma.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because it gives us a lot of insight.
Yep. Side character.
I think it's either Dieter and Nina with the sandwiches, or Lunga realizing that Johan exists. I think I'm gonna go sandwiches, because that was the one that had the biggest emotional impact on me.
That's definitely a runner-up, but Lunga fan gotta represent. So
well, I'm glad we got them both covered then. Yeah.
yeah, totally.
Minor or unnamed.
That moment.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that moment so much. Minor or unnamed. Oh, I know mine. I can
go with yours. Let me continue. To think.
The fucking creepy lady, the gasoline can lady.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she's good.
And probably like her introduction in particular, just walking past Johan with the can, and just like you can tell something's wrong. A super kingy character.
Yeah. To
me, like it absolutely right out of Stephen King is this like weird like servant.
Yes.
Do we want to? Here's actually a question for you. Do you want to identify Johan with that bad guy, like the Stand bad guy?
Oh, Randall Flagg? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
Flagg.
know.
Is there like a little bit something there, kind of?
He's more like mischievous, I think, than.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I actually have not read The Stand because I started reading it and was like, I don't
Really?
Yeah,
I read
it
in
wasn't
high
for
school
me.
and rather liked it.
Okay. I have been really enjoying The Dark Tower, so
See, and
I've
then
only
the
read
Dark
through The
Tower kind of
Wasteland.
slid off me. So I guess you and me just have slightly differing King tastes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so
Randall
that's
Flagg's a
my
cool,
yeah.
Okay, so you've got Spooky Lady.
Mhm.
I might go with, and this is related to my favorite Tenma moment, is I think the guy that we called out in the news that was like an Asian man saved us. Is he okay?
Yeah, what's up with him? I thought that might be yours actually.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a good
And
one. That is a good one.
because that kind of, it's the other thing that I said I liked was the dude who realized like, oh, I have to, help with breaking the store down, like people working together.
Yeah.
So, who's rocking this week is the question.
That's the fucking thing. Who is rockin' indeed? We didn't get introduced to like any new characters really.
I think
feel.
it's professional murderers. Because is this the end of
You think
Roberto?
it's mercenaries?
I think Roberto's dead. Our good friend Roberto.
He went over the fucking balcony, man.
We heard a thud. We have not seen the body, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah. We could. I feel like we could pretty accurately say that mercenaries, contract killers are rocking.
I like that. Contract killers are rocking this week.
Contract killers are rocking. I like that. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, I think this new recording environment. I have a bad feeling about microphone. I'm looking at it. I'm peeking all over the place.
That's okay. I can drop you down a little bit.
We'll figure it out. Gosh, Matt.
Quinn.
Who the fuck are you? And
Hey,
where can people find you on the internet?
I'm Matt Fennell. You can find me online. My website is blarple.net. I run the Urasawa Boys Twitter. And if I can get a Blue Sky invite from anyone, I will be on Blue Sky because I have been struck with I need to post. There are so many good posts that I have had recently. I'm gonna describe.
No account and I must post.
Yeah, I'm gonna describe one that I sent to my friends the other day. And this is what you want. You want me describing a joke that is based on an image is the other thing is what this post was.
Yeah, this is peak postage.
I wrote cream cheese on my hand because I needed to remember to go buy cream cheese for bagels. So with a Sharpie marker, I wrote cream cheese on my hand while I was at work and then took a picture of it and sent that picture to my friends with the caption, Memento, 2001, directed by Christopher Nolan.
God.
So that's the quality, that's the caliber of posts that we're missing out because Elon Musk sucks. He's taken posting from me.
He's taken so much from me. Matt is on a quest.
I'm on a quest to post
on
again.
Elon for
yeah.
Jesus.
I generally do not. No, actually, never mind. I'm not going to make any threats of violence on this podcast.
The things I would do to Elon Musk in Minecraft are unspeakable. That's been my favorite thing lately on Discord is like some political figure like I would kill them in Minecraft.
That's a new one for me. I haven't heard that before.
You haven't seen that?
No, that's funny.
It's pretty recent, but it's been really tickling me, honestly. Just
that's
because obviously that will not protect you from sedition charges. but
it's funny.
It's so man. In
Quinn,
Minecraft. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What?
No. I was just going to say, I was going to say, Quinn, where can the people find you?
Oh, Christ. You can find me. I just don't know if you can, honestly. Like, what do I fucking do on the internet?
No.
Look, if I post, right, you can find me at 200 Proof Games on Twitter and authenticity.trip on TikTok. And you can find my TTRPG work at 200proof.itch.io. And any percent,
it's coming soon.
Tarot-based speedrunning game should be dropping on my itch sometime in the next week or so. I wanted to send it out today, but there was just a couple more things to firm up. I really wanted to send it out today, but it's okay. And I'm really excited and super proud of that game. It's gorgeous. I showed it to a friend today, and every time we flipped to a new page, she went, wow. So you know it's going to be good.
Oh, that's great. That's so exciting.
It's super awesome. It's super fun. If you like video games, if you like speed running, if you like RPGs, if you like tarot, if you have friends and want to play cool, fun, imaginative games with them that are cooperative and competitive at the same time, any and all of those things, you might like this very cool game object I have created. It's really fun. And if you'd be so kind, you could consider backing us on Patreon.
Yeah. We're at patreon.com/Urasawa Boys is where we are.
You'll get content. We have begun releasing anime. We have begun releasing Maintaining Balance.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm not in Brooklyn quite so much, recording is going to be a good bit easier. So
I think this is going to be a summer of content. Yeah, like school is over for me. I'm not taking summer classes, so I think I think I'm leaving work kind of mid or end of June, and then like July, I'm just going to be in this apartment by myself for like a whole month, and I'm probably not doing work. So we are just going to be able to kind of content the fuck out of it, basically, which is very exciting to me. I love content. I love making this podcast.
Me too,
and we have some plans for additional stuff that we're gonna do in the main episodes. So I'm excited to kind of do that. I actually, I'll talk to you about this off air. A different idea that I had.
Okay,
but
yeah, and hey, everybody, think like we are halfway through Monster. We're halfway fucking through it, and that's super cool that we have like
this is a milestone for sure. Like
you know, like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm the kind of creative person who, like, has a bunch of endeavors and completes maybe 1/10 or less.
Same here. Exactly the same here.
And, you know, and so it's super nice to have this really cool endeavor with a very, very good friend and to have achieved so much of it and to have people that are listening even. I mean, you guys are frankly the cherry on top. Like, I'd do this if no one was listening, but people are listening. And fucked up if true.
Yeah, it has been, you know, there's a little analytics screen that we can see in our podcast host, and it has been very, very, very cool to see the lifetime kind of listen count tick up over time. And, you know, a lot of that does come from Quinn and I re-listening to the podcast because we like the sound of our own voice. But thank you, like everyone who listens, thank you so much. You know, everything that Quinn said, I would say the same. It's been I will even say doing this podcast has been like a blessing. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm glad to be able to do this and like share it with people, and I'm excited to see what comes next, what happens after this.
Oh yeah. We've got next reading's good. Next reading's real good, and we've got, you know, like we were hinting at last time, well there might be some fresh
some new
sonic
voices,
signatures. Oh, that, you know, you could just say it that way too.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn to do a Kermit the Frog impression.
There you go. But yeah, so
next reading really quickly. Next reading is 78 through 86, which is the back half of Perfect Edition 5.
Volume 5. Yeah. And it's a very good one. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening, and thanks for being a friend.
Thanks for being a friend.